Jay Thomas.
You talk too much, you worry me to death.
Jay Thomas.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet. You
Jay.
just talk.
Jay Thomas.
Talk too much.
Christina.
You talk about people that you don't know.
Yeah.
You talk about people wherever you go. You
Ira.
just talk.
Garrett.
Talk too much. You talk about people that you never seen.
Jay Thomas.
You talk about people you can make me scream. You
Jay.
just talk.
Jay Thomas.
Talk too much.
All
Jay
right.
Thomas.
In New York, Garrett Andrews will be tortured later on.
Happiest day of my life.
Singing, dancing, everything he absolutely hates about. Do you like theater? Do you like regular acting? No. You don't like it.
I really don't.
Tonight, somewhere with
painful.
you, almost sold out. People are throwing money at him. Throwing money at him now to make it into a bigger play. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Will I go along with the cast? That's the big question. You know, I need a song in the last act, is what I said to them. You can't sing. I don't care. I want a song in the final act.
I can't wait to hear you bust out those pipes tonight.
Nothing matters, even if it did. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Look at that tonight.
Oh, I got some chills.
Yeah, I got a chill, too. I think we better turn the air conditioner down.
Not a douche chill.
Oh, really?
Dick, you're such a...
Yeah.
Why can't you
Why
be
am I such a
supportive?
dick?
Because you're not supportive
I'm
at
not
all.
allowed to not like something?
Yeah, no, you're not.
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
in the sense of he's
You know
a big
what?
star. We're
You
gonna
know
go see
where I
him.
learned that from? No, not a star.
No, you're a big
We're
star.
friends. That's a big difference. You know? We're
That should
friends.
make you feel like a piece of shit, Garrett.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Oh, so we're friends, so you're forcing me to go to something I hate. That's what friends do.
If you hate it so much, when it's over, leave. But you can't leave early. You have to leave when it's over.
Is there an intermission?
There is.
I told you.
God, how long is this thing?
5 hours. Full bar. You know, years ago there was a play, I guess it was a musical too, called Nicholas Nickleby. And it was 2 days. I think it was 2 4-hour days. I don't know. But you went like on Thursday and you sat there for 4 or 5 hours. And then you went the next day and sat there for 4 or 5 hours. I went the first day and did not go back the second day. No. It just wasn't, I didn't find it, compelling. I didn't understand what they were saying. The accents were difficult. Then, of course, it ran for about 5 more years, after that. You'll have fun tonight. Your friends will be there. There's an open bar. I mean, you don't have to pay, but there's booze. You'll see Ira. You'll be sitting next to Ira.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah. Trying to explain to him, what's happening up there, why they're singing and all that kind of stuff. Now, today, when we talked to David Reese, we've had this guy on before. This guy, we had him on when he taught us how to sharpen a pencil or something.
Yeah.
Perfectly. And everything else. So now they gave him a TV show over at Nat Geo. I don't, he's going to teach us how to tie our shoes. I don't get what is so deep about, this show. I don't.
It's like the best, perfect way to do things.
Like making the perfect ice cube.
Yeah, there's a clip of that online where
Yeah.
he gets 100% purified water. It's just hydrogen and oxygen. And it's really bad to drink because it strips everything from you trying to get impure. So it's very dangerous, and he makes ice cubes with it.
And then who does he give it to?
He tastes it himself. He said it tasted like nothing, not even water.
Now, wait a minute. It's hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And if you did H2O purely, it does what to your insides?
the water wants to be impure, so it starts ripping electrolytes from your body and other minerals and metals and stuff.
Can it kill you?
Yes.
Wow, I like that.
And he drank a shot of it, but they were very hesitant to let him do it.
Oh, really? You really think there was really... Please.
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah. OJ. You know, the stupidest thing I ever did was I let a guy with a bow and arrow shoot a pencil or something over my head in the studio, and I just stood against the wall. He was only a few feet away, but as that thing was coming at me, yeah, it was stupid. I almost fainted. And so he will talk to us about all that.
It's also a bit tongue in cheek too.
Yeah, he's got. It says here, dry wit.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to swat a fly.
How to open a door.
How to open a door.
Different types of doors.
You just push the door, pull the door, turn the handle, open the door. Oh. I'd love to have been there for the pitch meeting. I'm going to show you how to make an ice cube and how to open a door. How to dig a hole. Now, in the movies, they're always digging the hole for the dead guy. You ever dug? Oh! You know,
it's
like...
easy at the first 6 inches.
Well, what I do is I get a hose, and I wet the area for like a day. I literally flood the area. Then I dig the grave, and then I put the body in it. All right? That's how you do it. You wet the area. But in the movies, they're always having somebody dig their own grave. They would be there for like 4 or 5 hours. 6 feet deep and, 6 feet long, whatever it is. So I'll be how to flip a coin. How to light a match. Man, oh man. Another one I should have thought of. Go in there and, pitch that one. Now, as a comic, this guy has been with Louis C.K. and, he did stand-up. Smart guy stand-up, is that what he does?
I guess so. I didn't know he was a comic until today.
All right. And he's got 10 episodes on National Geographic. All right. Well, look, we're glad to bring... I did a show last night with Gilbert Godfrey. I did his podcast. And the guy from The View, who told me that they're going to have...
Ross Matthews?
Well, he's a producer.
Oh.
They're going to have Sherry Shepherd and, what's her name? McCarthy. Forgetting her name.
Jenny.
Jenny. They're having her finish the season out.
Was there a backlash to their firing? Why did they bring them back in the first place? And then
I think Anthony might have sent them a text to stop it. I think that was about it.
you tweeted it.
He tweeted it. I'm sorry. I said a text. No one got it. Now they're saying that Rosie O'Donnell wants the main producer fired and, all this kind of. How about LeBron James talking to Cleveland where the guy called him a traitor and a bum and, everything else. And then today the guy said, well, that's just business. And then Donald Sterling was on the stand, called his wife a pig. And her attorney is 80 years old. And he speaks in a whisper. Donald Sterling is 85 and can't hear. Oh. Yeah. They're going to rule against him because apparently he's acting completely nuts on the stand. Completely crazy. And he's saying that he can't hear and, all that.
Wasn't there a mafia guy in New York that did that?
Oh, no, the guy, he dressed in pajamas.
Yeah.
A Gigante. And he walked around the village, or little Italy, whatever it is, in these pajamas acting crazy. And so they catch him, and he just acted, I think he got off because he was nuts. But they say he was, acting crazy. Stayed in his pajamas all the time and everything else. There are people like that right now listening in their pajamas. Just sitting there, haven't gotten out of bed. Haven't done anything.
Christina usually wears her pajamas to work.
Mm-hmm.
You have? You've done that?
No, never.
Oh, pretty much. Really? PJs? Throw them in there.
Like silk shorts and a T-shirt.
So you have to go all the way home, walk your dog.
Yeah.
The dog squeezes a couple out, right? Why don't you move somewhere where the dog can run? I mean, you shouldn't have a dog closed up in the house like that. That's you know what? That's animal cruelty as far as I'm concerned.
She wouldn't run anyway.
What do you mean?
She's a pretty low-key, low-energy dog.
Gee, I wonder who her master is. Now, when you get home, is she laying on the couch watching, NFL Network and an old Jets rerun?
Playing video games.
Playing video games. And your girlfriend is out of work these days? That's the thing with you?
Yes.
Oh.
She's here's on Tuesday if she gets a job.
Wow.
At the 9/11 Museum.
Happiest place on earth. Yeah. So what is that like when you come home and it's been a while? She hadn't had a job. I mean, there are a lot of people listening that are out of work and their loved ones are out of work or their kids or whatever. What advice would you have for someone who's living with someone while you, of course, have gainful employ in an exciting job where you come home and you probably share some of the witticisms and knowledge that you've gained from working as a producer of a major broadcast program. Yes.
My advice is don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then move
Now,
on.
is the house spotless when you get home from all the cleaning? No.
Hot meal on the table ready
No.
for you?
No.
I definitely never called right after I get out of the subway. Oh, can you go to the store and pick something up?
Why not?
Oh, I am all the time. Sorry, I messed it up.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. And then it's like, well, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been so busy walking the dog or blah, blah.
And now she's out of town tonight, can't walk the dog.
She's out of town, until Monday.
It's for a job?
No, vacation with her family.
Oh, she's out of work, vacationing with her family. Where'd they go?
South something harbor in Maine.
Wow.
But their family is from Maine, so.
Why don't you two guys move in with her parents? That's what a lot of people do.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
They live in one of those, one restaurant, one bar town in Maine. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there's nothing nowhere.
I've been sent all kind of stuff about talking about Married at First Sight. Jamie Otis, who is a labor and delivery nurse from Harlem, really wants to have kids of her own. Having trouble finding Mr. Right in New York City. And I feel that guys are primarily just playing me. Is that how you feel, Christina? They're playing you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting played.
Tough to find guys who are serious, and so she's decided to go on. Now, she's already been on The Bachelor and Bachelor Pad and not made it. She was
I don't know, Bachelor Pad.
She was passed over.
So this is just her way of getting into show business.
When they asked me, I said, no way. Are they nuts? Not again. Well, she said, they're going to dump her. Then she changed her tune after the producers played her the Danish version, in which 2 of the 3 couples ended up in successful marriages. To be that desperate that how would she know it was successful?
Yeah.
It's in another language.
And it's, a year later it's successful?
But it's probably, they're going, and they're really saying, you're a dumb bitch, you're a bitch, you're a dumb shit bitch. Really. Doug Heener waits to meet his bride for the first time. In minutes, they say, I do. Now, I read that it's legal. So I'm sure there's a prenup and all that, but I read that they come out and it's a legal marriage.
Yeah, they did the show last year on 90 Day Fiancé.
How'd that work out?
I think most or all of them got married. Not one guy sent his bride home.
We have the opportunity to match people with a person who compliments them, as well as in similar and important ways, says Dr. Pepper Schwartz. Look, that's Pepper, isn't it? Pepper?
That's Pepper.
That sure is. Dr. Pepper is the guy that's putting them together. Professor of psychology at the University of Washington and an expert who is on the show. Christina, we need to get him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper it is.
And perhaps...
Can we get Mr. Pibb, too?
Yeah, sure. Dr. Pepper says, and at the end, the kind of the mistakes that they might make themselves based heavily on attraction, which he feels as though is not the right way to choose a mate. You know, in a way, I don't disagree with that. When I was preparing to get married for real for the third time, the one I would keep, I didn't go for the one I was fighting with who was the hot piece of ass. And, I looked at the one that had money, and then I looked at the one that had a good job and was really nice, I mean, at the end of the day, they've all got the same set of organs. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody, who found me, pleasing to be with. And, the right-wing parents turned me off to one of them. And then I married one with total left-wing parents. I think the right-wing parents would have been more fun in the end. They drink, they party.
Oh, wow.
They say, a lot of negative things about other groups of people and stuff like that. The left-wing people, very disappointed that the world has not gone the way it was supposed to. Their first big disappointment is that Stalin wasn't a good guy. Remember that? They all became communists way back. Yeah, they thought he was going to be a good guy. Even though you're attracted to somebody at first sight, once you get to know them, that's when the love really comes. I've been with a lot of beautiful girls, says one of the contestants, and they just didn't have something. I can't even explain it. But my wife, I hope she'll have it. Wow. Now, Christina, would you ever appear on a show like this?
Never, no.
They're probably paying them, $50,000 apiece.
Yeah, but that's not really the way I want
That's
to
not
take
enough.
it,
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gary writes me, I couldn't help but laugh hysterically at the show last night when one of the brides took a long look at the guy she was asked to promise her vows to, and after a long beat said, oh, I'm sorry, and then said, I do. Oh, man. Yeah, that's wild, huh? I mean, I gotta watch it. I mean, I'm if they're real. And the other thing is that it's mixed race couples. There's, like I said, there's 4 of them, and 2 are mixed race. That's a whole nother thing when you go home to the parents of the other race. It's a whole different deal. And the friends and all of that. That's a buzz.
I don't see color, so I wouldn't know.
You know what? I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm colorblind. But,
Parents are parents, no matter what.
And you like your, well, you'll never get married. Your potential in-laws, you like them? They're good people?
They're fine.
They're fine.
Whenever anybody uses the word fine, it never means fine. Fine people don't use the word fine.
They're just fine. Yeah,
if you were fine, you wouldn't say, I'm fine.
They're not my favorite people in the world. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't think they're bad.
Does your girlfriend, does your concubine have a good relationship with them? She's vacationing with them.
Now she does, yeah.
Oh, okay. So my sons are having trouble with my wife, who is their mother. There's a lot of arguing, and my wife was taking this Effexor stuff for years, and now she's off of it, and apparently it's causing her to whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been, talking everybody down,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And you're all cramped in this little hotel room?
No, they're cramped in their own little hotel room, and
okay.
My wife and I are cramped in our own little hotel room. But my wife was up at 7 this morning and gone. I have no idea, where she went. And this evening when I see her, there won't even be a discussion about where she went. She's probably going back to see that old boyfriend back in New Jersey. Probably. You know what it was? Love at second sight. For them. But, the dynamic now is, I'm in this thing, right? I'm stuck in it. And one of the kids said to me, well, I guess it's time for a 23-year-old man to move out. I go, yeah, that's probably part of it. I think that's
5 years late.
Yeah. Dear Jay, you guys talked about dick pics recently. This comes from Guy. Guy's a guy. Guys only send dick pics to women they have no interest in getting up with. So that, and he was referring
that
to...
doesn't make any sense.
Well, in a way it does. He was referring to that woman, Sarah. It was like, if this is what you want to do, okay, but whatever the dinner was or whatever the meeting was or whatever, I don't want to hear that ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's just like, listen, you want to have bang? Yes or no? No, okay, see you later. But I don't want to put in all the work and then try to bang you.
Mm-hmm. Now here's one for Christina. Charlene says, does Christina have the problem with guys she's been dating because they watch so much porn that they can't ejaculate inside of a woman? I actually dated a guy who could only come when I jerked him off with my feet.
Ew. No, I've never had that problem, but I prefer that they don't ejaculate inside of me.
I know, but I mean, these guys can't.
Yeah, no, I don't have. I don't have that
because
problem.
of all the porn. They can't do it.
Garrett,
She had nothing to do with it.
Garrett, you watch a lot of porn.
Yeah.
Do you have any problems ejaculating?
No.
No. Having full on sex.
No, I don't have any kinks or anything like that.
Do you prefer a woman to ejaculate you using only her feet?
I've never had that done, so no.
Well,
how does that even work?
What she's saying is that they see stuff and that they want to do that, and the going inside the vagina.
Maybe the guy is a foot fetish, so what's wrong with that?
Well, I think she was using it as an example.
How do you jerk somebody off with your feet?
Oh God!
You put them together.
Yeah, and you rub them up and down.
This means that like I gotta. Yeah, but then I have to like move my legs like this.
Or he fucks your feet.
No, you have to. The way to practice is when you go home tonight, get a banana, put it between your feet, and rub it up and down.
All right.
Yeah, and wait till the top squeezes off.
You want to try with his hair?
Yeah.
Straightener?
Let me see.
Who's that?
Oh no, that's Nicole's. I don't want to put that on my feet.
Or Jay, they say sorry, I can't come. I've already jerked off 3 times today.
Aren't you supposed to jerk off before you know you're going to have sex?
Well,
that you can look like a champ?
Makes you last longer, yeah.
3 times is a little excessive.
It is. You know, now why don't you want to touch that?
Oh, it's Nicole's. I don't want to start jerking it off.
You're just going to see if you can hold it.
I wouldn't want somebody to jerk off my flat iron.
You're not jerking it off. You're putting it between your feet.
It's fine. I'll practice when I get home with the banana. I like your suggestion better.
And, you know, it has a peel on it, so you can eat the banana afterward. You don't even have to,
Sound like my grandmother.
To worry
Save
about.
everything.
People say they're not going to Broadway shows here in New York because of the abuse that they're receiving. Let's go around the horn. This is the summertime here for those of you that may be coming to New York City. They don't want to go to Broadway. They don't want to take the kids down. They don't want to have grandma, grandpa, nobody. Because it's aggressive. It's aggressive. Who is it, Christina?
The Barkers.
Come on in, see a show. Yep. Have a hot toddy, see a hot body.
You like comedy?
Yeah.
I hate those people.
Jared, who is it?
The guys in the Mickey Mouse outfits.
You betcha.
Oh, boy. Yes.
There are supposedly 500 or 600 of them.
There are.
And they're working in these costumes. They are aggressive. They are bothering people.
They come in to touch you. They make the motion to come touch you.
What do you mean they touch you?
They want a picture so that you pay them.
Right.
And they come up at you with their arms wide open, ready to hug you. It's disgusting.
Well, and people are falling for it. They think that they're part of,
Disney World
or something,
yeah.
a studio or whatever. Where do you get those costumes?
Anywhere.
I would love. What do you mean anywhere?
At like a costume
Those
shop.
are real. I'd like to go and do that for an afternoon. That'd be fun to do.
I've never seen one of them at a costume shop. Like the big head.
No, they're gigantic. They're official.
They keep those in the back and you rent them.
They don't rent them every day.
No. I'm saying if you wanted to go get
So
one,
my question is, where do you get
one.
that? Like Garrett, you would have to play Big Bird.
And it's never Big Bird, though. It's a little off, so they could say.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, everything's a little off.
The most aggressive one, stated by most people, Cookie Monster.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hello Kitty is always very whorish when you go down there.
Hello Kitty is whorish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Minnie Mouses, and they're professional-looking, costumes. So, on CNN right now, they're showing kids looking out of the window as the Israeli rockets blast Hamas.
They were wearing sweatpants with a word on his ass, and it said hard. Why would they have the word hard written across their ass in sweatpants?
Because women wear juicy.
What's up, hard ass?
Hard ass, thank you.
But it was like an 8-year-old kid. Boy.
Yeah, he goes hard.
That's stuff that's sent over from the United States that didn't work out here.
Definitely didn't.
Like, you know what they have? All the kids were wearing, Jets playoff victory shirts.
Denver Broncos Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, yeah. Peyton Manning MVP shirts. All of it. Well, here's the weird thing. I would be let's say you cause some shit, and every time you cause shit, they come in here and they just screw with Christina and I, and it just spreads through, and you caused it. What I don't get about the Palestinian people is Israel launched 500 rockets today. I just saw that when I came in. 500 rockets because of these 3 kids that were kidnapped and killed, sadly. And then the Israelis slapped the kid around, right? Blackened his eyes and all that. Really. You fool with Israel, they're never, ever going to let that shit happen again. Ever. There's no diplomatic talking, no nothing. Look, we have the poor guy over in North Korea. All he did, the man from Ohio, is put a Bible into a Korean Holiday Inn drawer. And he's being held hostage. Are we launching any rockets at them? No. No. And they've got 2 other people over there. We're not launching any rockets. Did you see the picture today of the guy, Bergdahl, hugging and smiling with one of his captives? Taking like a selfie with one of his captives. And, yeah. And the guy he was with, he was blown away 3 years ago. They got him. And he's there, hugging. That guy, we shouldn't have wasted 5 minutes on that guy. He wanted to leave. He walked away.
There's a secret story behind that.
No.
He knew some secret. He had some answer to something that we needed to save him.
No.
He had 2 brothers that died in the war, and they had to save him because he was the last surviving lion.
Did he have 2 boys? Two
No,
brothers?
just saving Private Ryan. That's why they went and saved him.
No, from what I understand, all of a sudden they just decided, we'll make a deal if you'll give us a bunch of captives, and we've got this guy. And they made the deal. But
why this guy? He seems like the worst candidate.
I don't know.
To be the guy.
What's weird is it's like they don't have a meeting. Like, we know everything about everything here. So if there was a certain person was captured, Christina would say, well, was bad guy. We'd have a meeting and we go, we don't want to get him back because we're not sure. I think they just want people back so they can get information. Like, where'd they keep you? In the desert? What was it near? A coconut tree? Where? By an oasis? What happened? There was a camel. It all looks alike.
But didn't they know where he was? And weren't they trying to get him? And then
I don't know
6 guys died trying to find him?
That's after he was immediately captured.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's 4:00 in the morning, and you and I are in an apartment in the South Bronx of New York. There's gunshots, there's drug deals going on.
Ira's apartment?
No, deep.
Okay.
Deeper into troubled territory.
Norma's apartment.
And you're like, sick of what's going on and everything else, and you get up and you walk outside in this horrible, burnt-out neighborhood, and you're taken hostage by drug dealers. That's how dumb it was, what he did. He left the safety of an American base, or maybe it was like a little smaller outpost or whatever. Yeah, this kid did something. How about the nutcase dad with the long hair and the mom that looks like she was on something with those bug eyes? By the way, people dressed as Buddhist monks and Taoist nuns are being criticized here for aggressive donation seeking. Have you been approached by a monk?
In San Francisco, I was a lot, giving out those golden little ticket things.
And they want money back, right?
I don't know. I'm
Did you
in
take
New York. I just say no. I swipe them off with my hand and move on.
They're not monks. They're just Chinese people with a bad haircut. That's all they are.
And they want money. That's what their game is.
But they can't find out if it's really a church or whatever. Huh. It's hard to believe when people give money to those people. And even these stupid characters that are outside. First of all, I don't like. Now the kids would want to hug the character, right? Now if you don't tip them, they say something to you, right? They must say. Now the real ones are not allowed to speak. They're not allowed to say, anything.
At Disney, you mean? The real ones?
We're sitting next to one right here.
I thought they could now.
Who did you play?
I didn't. I was in a restaurant and I played like a 50s diner kind of
You
mom.
sure they can't speak now? I think
they can't. No. And when you audition, the audition is so awkward because you're not wearing the costume, but you have to do everything as if you were in the costume. So like big waves and like kind of like, ho, hi kind of things, but you can't be in Goofy and go, ho, that laugh that you do, you can't do it.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because everything has to be consistent. So you can't go to Epcot Center and see Goofy and he sounds a certain way, and then you go to Magic Kingdom and he sounds a different way.
So, no.
Because you're supposed to, there's only one. But in your head.
But the reality is those people are not voice people.
They're not voice people.
Right.
The princesses, they talk to you.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. And they're trained to.
If you could see their face, they could talk, it says.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Like Alice in Wonderland and all that. I auditioned for Six Flags years and years ago for something. I never did get it. But you were a waitress.
Yeah, I worked in food and beverage.
Did any guys with families ever hit on you?
Oh, all the time.
The wife and kids, and they're hitting on you?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm dressed like June Cleaver, so it's like some weird fantasy.
Wow.
With the lace apron and the pearl necklace.
You mean Beaver's mom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I worked in a 50s diner, and it was themed.
Right.
So we all had that outfit on, like the 50s style mom.
Do you think the guy that invented Beaver Cleaver was up to something?
Up to no good.
Why would he call the guy like his buck teeth? That's why. Kid had buck teeth. That's like a beaver. So where would you think the guy would take you? Where did he want to, if he's married?
Probably backstage.
Wow.
But I would never let that happen.
Wow.
Not in the happiest
Did any girls go backstage that were dressed as one of the characters? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you always saw stuff. You saw stuff backstage or underground all the time.
Really?
Yeah, you would see, what really is under those costumes, ripping on cigarettes with their head in their arms.
Oh, what I mean is sex.
Oh, well, I've never seen it, but
okay.
my roommate was having sex with a Tigger. So I know that,
Wow. From
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh. You know why I hated that cartoon?
But I had to dump.
Winnie the... Thought you had to hit the...
No.
Hit the delay button.
Oh, hit the T.
Oh.
Idiot. Oh, boy. Hit that delay button. We're on laugh delay. By the way, here in New York, a used car salesman named Andrew Rector was asleep during a Yankees game, and the announcers said stuff about him in a joking way, and he is suing ESPN for $10 million for mental anguish and loss of future income. He must be a psychic, because if you see a picture of this guy, Dan Schulman and John Kruk suggested that Rector is a fatty cow that needs 2 seats at all times. Now, they listened back and said they never said that. But they did make fun of him. They did. Is there any audio of what they're saying? Because they've always made fun of sleeping people. Now, to sue for $10 million, which you're able to do, he will have to prove that he lost income. Here we go.
Live streaming sports service celebrating 12 years. This guy's oblivious to how good it is. Join the millions of subscribers, maybe even this guy.
They got
watch every ad of marketing.
Got a camera on on the sleeping fat guy, overweight man.
Sometimes you have to turn
got
it off
apnea.
and get some sleep.
There we
It's
go.
not the place you come to sleep. But tell you what, though, how comfortable is that? Probably won't have any neck problems tomorrow.
I mean, is that guy to his left his buddy who's just letting him sleep, or is he here alone? What's the deal with this guy?
Maybe that's his buddy, and he likes him a lot better when he's asleep.
I think the other guy's really more concerned with the food and the game. And
Chicken fingers are a special item at the ballpark. Why share? Get him when he's asleep so he won't ask for one.
We got to see how long this guy's out for.
This is how boring baseball
I
is.
was just going to say,
Yeah.
let's turn this into a sport instead.
I mean, 45,000 people stand up and cheer, and he sleeps through it.
You think it'd be tough to, but he seemed comfortable. It didn't look like he just started to sleep.
Not a cousin, not a relative.
Greg Gibson.
Wait,
Oh, man.
So,
Well, that was it.
on the back of a baseball ticket, there's a bunch of disclaimers, though, isn't there? Like if you can't sue if you get hit by the ball. Isn't this true?
I don't know.
When you purchase a ticket, you're basically signing
You give
over
up your rights.
Your rights. So how could he? I guess that doesn't fall under it. Is it like a defamation
I think that's
of character?
physical harm.
Well, I think that what he's saying is that he was ridiculed and made fun of, and that millions of people, he'll be known now. He can't get a job. Now, you know what? They might pay him like $100,000 to get rid of it. That'd be stupid to do that.
But good for him if he gets it.
I guess so. Just imagine the buffet he can go to after that. But they've been
Careful,
doing
they'll
that.
sue you too.
They've been doing that forever, ever making fun of people sleeping or whatever the deal was. Yeah.
Jason on line 1 has other information. It says it's not just about the broadcasters and what they said. There's other things.
Is he suing the beer distributor that caused him to fall asleep? Jason of Texas, go ahead.
He's not suing because of what the announcers actually said. He's suing ESPN because after it was over, set up on the website, and other people did.
Well, you're breaking up.
What he's saying is that ESPN set up a forum on their website so that other people can so other people can comment.
So they did an after game comment on fat guy sleeping in stadium.
Yeah, and so it was other people just in the public that was commenting, saying, fat guy taking up 2 chairs and all this crazy stuff.
Oh, I see.
Since ESPN was letting them do it on their site, that's why he's suing ESPN.
Well, okay, he might have something there. I don't know.
Because they opened up the discussion about the man, and they didn't shut it down when it started getting real bad. They just let it keep going, and that's how he's suing them over the stuff that was said.
Can you imagine the fat hunks of shit that were sitting there commenting on the overweight sleeping man in the stadium, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody sues for everything nowadays. So
$10 million. When you look at him, wouldn't he have to have a job that would ever pay him, $10 million in a lifetime?
Well, maybe he believes in a reincarnation, and that's for his next 300 lives.
Right.
So.
When he wakes up, he's another guy that makes $10 million. All right. Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you. Thank you very much. A woman here in New York was scared by a picture of Dexter on some stairs. And she fell down the stairs at Grand Central Station. And it's a large, looming, strange, and disturbing face, said her lawyer, Anjanafi Nejawada. A Gambian national living in the Bronx. Here it is. That's the ad right there. So you walk up the stairs, and there's Dexter's face.
Oh, it's like in the steps?
You agree now. It's
even less scary
so
now.
Stupid.
Yeah, I've seen other ones where he has like a bloody face or a bloody hand or something.
No, she was going up the steps, and she looks down, and the face is broken up by the steps themselves. It's from, let's say it's 10, 15 steps. So Dexter's neck starts at the bottom and then the top of his head, and she looked down and saw his eyes looking back at her.
Oh, God.
From between the slats.
But they're not even life-size.
But she lives in New York. That's what scares her?
Yeah.
Come on. Everybody's looking for a quick buck.
The picture had a way of dwarfing me and enveloping me.
Ew.
He's a scary guy. Wow.
Unbelievable.
She's suing the Metropolitan Transit Authority, the City of New York, Showtime, and the ad agency that thought of it.
Jesus. I tripped over a plastic bag going up the steps today to this train station. Should I sue the MTA and whoever made the bag?
Was it Skittles? What was it?
No, it was like a plastic bag, that you get at the grocery store. Yeah.
Oh, a deli bag. I would sue them all. The image of the TV serial killer's unblinking eyeball was as large as my entire head, said Ms. Nejwada. And it eerily appeared to be covered in cellophane. The photograph, extending the full length of the steps from the top of the platform to the bottom, depicting the shocking, menacing face of a Caucasian man exhibiting an expression of fear and shock. Oh, my God.
This is dumber than somebody suing McDonald's because they got hot coffee on themselves.
Nejawada speaks only French and said she'd never, ever heard of Dexter, ever. And she shrieked, tumbled down the stairs, and has a hairline fracture of her right foot and a mild concussion.
Sounds like one of those gypsy scams.
Well, here's the worst part of it.
How do you not know what Dexter is? If you live here, you see the poster every 5
She's
seconds.
not from here. She's from Gambia.
She lives here now.
Worst of all, Dexter has now invaded her dreams.
Oh, God.
She's unable to sleep without seeing Dexter in her face, in her head. And she keeps seeing that face constantly, over and over again. Of course, Dexter fans have blasted the lawsuit. One tweet said, sue her for being an idiot. That was from Anthony. What's that one? He's out there tweeting. He's got relax. Stop it. I just had a meeting and told me to keep my mouth shut. I am. They said, don't say anything negative. I said, I'm not. I'm going to say positive things.
You're going to upset Garrett.
I told him I'd change my name to J. Anthony. I told him. Opie and J. Anthony. And I would take half what he was making.
Didn't we say that before he even showed up?
Wintertime.
We
Oh, okay.
we did this bit when we were off.
Oh, okay.
In the hallway.
He called me on the phone and we did this whole bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Hi, Opie and J. Anthony. What's happening? Yeah. So he wasn't called fat. Well, John Kruk's a fatty. You call him fatty.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Well, $10 million, though. Who even thinks of that number? That's, ridiculous. I mean, if I fell down the steps here and broke my leg and everything else, okay, maybe I might be able to never work again. Maybe in my life, maybe.
Only if it's their fault.
But you have to have the potential to make that kind of money. So if, let's say you work as a guy that moves furniture, and that's probably what you're going to do. You don't have the potential to make $10 million. If you're a movie star, or if you're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, and you make a bunch of money already, you have the potential to make that kind of money. That's how I thought they based it.
I don't think so. What if Rodney Dangerfield fell and got hurt when he was 45? They would have been like, oh, you're an air conditioning guy.
That's right.
But his potential was to make millions of dollars.
No. He was an air conditioning
Or
salesman.
whatever he was.
At that point.
Salesman or something.
The FBI's fitness exam is ruled unfair to men. And in a few moments, we'll see if it can be done here in our studios. The guys need 30 push-ups, and the women need 14. And a federal judge has ruled this is a legal victory to a suburban Chicago man who sued the FBI because he missed the cutoff to become a special agent by 1 push-up. Couldn't do 30. He only did 29. Meanwhile, women were popping out 14, 15 push-ups right next to him. Now, Jay Bauer, 40 years old, an intelligence analyst for the FBI, sued in 2012. He had 40 years old, just joining the FBI. He'd passed the initial fitness test, scored near top of his class, very smart guy. Then he went to Quantico, and he only did 29, and that was it. They're untimed. Female trainees did 14.
He couldn't just wait for 10 minutes and then do one more?
He'd have to have held his arms up in the air for a long time. You know, we live in an age, fortunately, where it's clear men and women can do the same jobs, and people performing them should be held to the same physical standard.
That's for sure.
I disagree. I totally disagree.
You want a firefighter woman that had to do less of a physical test than the man to carry you out of a building?
They wouldn't be able to hire any females.
Okay. The basketball, they wouldn't be able to hire any 4'10" people either. That's the way of the game. That's the way the job, that's the
women can
attribute the job needs.
Women can hold up their end of the hose.
They can't carry you out of a building.
You think you can do 14 push-ups?
Girl push-ups or boy push-ups?
They got to be boy push-ups.
14 of them?
Yeah.
I don't even
Should
think I can do one.
Should we come around to you, Garrett? You'll count?
I don't even think I can
How
do
much time?
one.
We have enough time to do it?
Yeah, we got time.
This is our lawsuit show today. Now, can I do 30 push-ups is the question. I tell you what, I want you to put your face real close to mine while I'm doing them. Right. So that when we're doing them, I'll have an image of what I'm really doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead, get down there.
All right, get all down on the floor. I can't.
We don't need a picture. Ow, my back.
Jay's on a knee already. Christina's on a knee.
Right.
Yeah, they're up.
Are you ready?
Jay's in some tight gray slacks and a blue kind of checkered shirt. Jay's 3, 4, 5, 6. Christina's at 3, kind of.
10, yeah, 11.
Already?
13, 14.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't even know why Christina's trying. She's doing it wrong anyway. 27, 28, 29, 30. Special agent.
Jesus Christ, I'm a fucking special agent. Oh, my God. Thomas would have either been 83.
I want to die, but wait, hold on. Look at the definition I have now just from doing that.
God.
Right?
You know what?
They blew up. Guns.
Wow.
Welcome to the show.
Wow.
You're in really great shape.
I'm in great shape.
I want to die right now.
Well, for you,
Jesus.
you couldn't even do them when you were on your knees.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that sad?
You know, Garrett, you don't always have to have the muscles. Like let's say Christina and I are special agents.
Yeah.
So we're going in, and she's, she has expertise, fires a gun, does something, is really good at it with an investigation. I mean, you're not doing heavy lifting every time you go do a case.
Can we do some kind of a leg test? Because my legs will kill you. I mean, I'm solid in that area.
I
walk miles a day.
I'll do an Indian wrestle with your leg.
Okay.
I'll kill you.
I'll destroy you. I have strong legs.
You mean, how do you do that? You got your hook legs and you try and push the other person? How do you do it?
Something like that, yeah.
You know how to do it?
No, and I'm wearing a dress, but that's fine.
Your panties
I'll
mean
take
nothing.
pictures.
Oh, Jesus.
You're doing it now?
Well, we're doing the bit now. All right, now we're doing Indian leg. Come here.
What do we do?
Well, I think you hook legs.
Uh-huh.
Come here. I'll take my shoes off. You hook a leg. No, you gotta hook my leg. No, don't kick me in the balls. You kicked me right in the balls. Jesus Christ, what a beginning. I'm not looking up your dress.
That's my strategy.
Okay, no, wait. All right, now, you got to try to get my leg over there. You ready? Never happened. Never happened.
Wait, my dress!
What? You mean this right here? You mean this little thing right there?
Zooming in.
Yeah, right there, girl. God,
Yeah.
You know what? Stop with the ball kicking. Jesus Christ. I took 2 to the testicles. That shows you if I was on a case, they kicked me in the balls and I could still keep doing it. Oh, my God. Do we have like a workout channel? Do we have that?
I don't think so.
Every time you tell them here, like, hey, I just found out I have a tumor. Hey, go on the doctor channel and talk about it.
Doctor Radio.
Yeah, they want you to do that all the time.
Did you get pictures of my
Jesus.
panties?
Yep, green, right?
No.
Damn it.
Oh, God.
Did you see that my balls were red and
Slice.
swollen? Did you see? Get a picture.
Jay Thomas, the afternoon drive show. Jay Thomas. Indy. Sirius XM 104 and on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
Coming up Monday, July 14th on National Geographic Channel, Going Deep with David Rees. And David once came on because he wrote a book about how to perfectly sharpen a pencil. You know.
Guy here at work bought the book and the pencil for his girlfriend, has the shavings in a plastic bag and everything. Remember he came on our show to talk about it?
I do remember that. And the girlfriend was impressed with that?
Yeah,
the
she
shavings?
really liked it.
Wow. David, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks. Nice to talk to you again. It's been a while.
It has been. And so you've turned this ridiculous book of yours into
I beg your pardon.
a television career. I'm sorry. I didn't say ridiculous, did I?
I think you just mispronounced ingenious.
I sure did. I get my I's and my R's always
Hey,
mixed
it
up.
happens. Believe me, you're not the only one who's made that pronunciation error when talking about my book.
Now the thing is that you've got a show now, and what you're looking for is perfection in things that we do on a daily basis that generally don't have perfection in their definition. It's a thing you do, right? Like,
Yeah, you totally nailed it. It's all about investigating and celebrating all the simple, mundane things that we do all the time without thinking about them, and showing how interesting those simple things are when you really delve into the history and the science and the best practices for, like, tying your shoes or opening a door or flipping a coin.
Now, would you say that you are OCD and perhaps even as a child were punished by your family and bullied at school? I mean, really. I mean, you sound like a little persnickety little kind of...
No, I mean, the ironic thing is, as far as I know, I don't have OCD. You're not the only person who's asked me that, and I think that's what made the show interesting for me. Because I'm the type of person who, like a lot of people, I learned to tie my shoes when I was a little kid, or I learned how to fold a paper airplane when I was a kid, and I never really thought about it ever since then. And then only now making the show have I realized, like, holy smokes, I've been making paper airplanes incorrectly my whole life. I don't know how to throw them properly, or like, the reason I keep having to put double knots in my shoelaces is because I didn't tie them correctly the first time. So, yeah, it's all about slowing down, taking your time, and trying to get these things right.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't just start. I mean, you wrote a book about, which had other stuff in it, how to perfectly sharpen a pencil. I mean, that, you just say, I'm going to write some stupid book and try and make some money. You were interested in it, right?
Yeah, well, the book came out of my pencil sharpening business, which came out of my experience sharpening pencils for the U.S. government as part of the census team in 2010.
Right.
And, I hadn't sharpened pencils in years, and then I was doing it again for the first time, and I don't know how long. I was like, oh, this is really satisfying. It's really fun. I wonder if this is the type of thing you get really good at. And then, of course, the next thought was, well, I wonder if this is the type of thing I can, get paid to do. So that's where the pencil sharpening thing came from. And then the more research I did for the book and the more experience I had sharpening pencils, at this point, I've sharpened more than 2,000 pencils for customers. I realized how satisfying it was to do this simple task that I used to do without thinking about. And so, again, the whole point of the show is like, okay, so let's do that for everything.
Well, I want to go back to how we first met you. You were, I guess, trying to be a comic or hanging out or whatever, and you got a job at the Census Bureau. And were you a census taker and you sharpened your pencils perfectly, or your job was to sharpen pencils for the other takers?
No, I got a job as a door knocker. They do it every 10 years.
Yeah.
My job was to go around, knock on doors, get people's information, and get yelled at and have doors slammed in my face.
Well, the Republicans hate the census. Did you know that?
Yes, I have first-hand experience with that.
Isn't that odd? Why do they hate the census so much?
I think some people think you've shown up to just take their guns, which, we did not have a gun collection bag or anything.
And out of let's say out of 100 people, how many Americans did you actually get to speak to while taking what should be pretty close to perfect number of how many folks live in the United States?
I have to say, overall, everybody was really cool and really understood, what was going on, and were really supportive. I only had a couple people where it was like, oh, I think I'm going to leave now. Bye-bye. Yeah. And when you have those situations, you just mark it down like, do not return to this house. Did you mark it down that people live there, though? Yeah, you do.
Okay. Now, so how long would the survey take at the door? I don't like standing at the door. I mean, couldn't I just take it online?
Well, the whole point, the door knockers show up if you never turned in the survey that came in the mail. We were like the follow-up team, the cleanup team.
So you're going after malcontents and scumbags who probably don't even know a census was available, right?
Either that or people who just get any piece of mail and just throw it in the trash because they assume it's junk mail, which is what I do all the time.
Right, okay. So you'd knock on the door, and how would you convince them that you were actually a person that they should, even let, stand on their porch?
Well, we had our ID badges. We had our big census bag, and in the bag were the census forms, which had to be filled out with number 2 pencils, because they're Scantron sheets like the SAT tests. And that's why sharpening pencils was literally the first thing they taught us on the first day of staff training. Like, everybody stand around this garbage can and sharpen your pencils. And that's where it all came from.
Wow. What does that pay, by the way, the census taking, as an hourly?
I think it was $14 an hour. I was dead broke at the time. So my friend was like, if you need money, go get a job for the census. And then it turned into this whole, I took it a little farther than I thought I would.
And is it an 8-hour day, 10-hour day? How does it work?
It's flexible. I think I tried to work 8 hours, but it was kind of exhausting.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but if I were doing it, I would have turned in 8 or 10 hours and, filled them out myself.
Oh my gosh, that's probably a felony.
Is it?
Probably.
It had to be done by lots and lots of census takers. Lots.
Well, don't make me lose faith in the census. I like the census.
You really went door to door, and you never sat, down somewhere comfortably with a cocktail and filled out the forms. Come on.
You mean just like went to a bar with a bag of forms and just filled them out? And
not let everybody know what you were doing, but,
No, I'm an honest person. I don't take shortcuts.
I would have done it a couple of days. How about you,
really?
Christina? Would you have done? We would have both done it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah. You know what? I would have made sure that there were people that lived in those homes. I'd have walked by and said, "Oh yeah, there I see a guy in the window."
All right, you walk by, you peep in the window, you get a sense of who they are, and then you go to the bar and fill out the form.
Yeah, and you guess who they are. Right. Here's another thing you could have done. This would make you feel good. You fill out, fake ones, but then you go back to 3 or 4 of them one day when you're really bored to see how close you came to what you thought they were.
Oh, and it'd be a great way to figure out who lived in the house would be to dig through their garbage. You could do that, too.
Ooh, why not? How about this one? You go back to one family and go, oh, my God, you're that kind of Indian. You know what I mean? You thought they were another kind of an Indian. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think I prefer just the honest day's work for the honest day's pay.
I gotcha. All right, let's go to the Nat Geo thing. So now your career is now it's taken off. Going Deep, and you were a stand-up comic. You worked with Louis C.K., the rest of the people I didn't recognize, but you worked with Louis C.K., and you were a stand-up. And did you talk about your fetish for things being done perfectly when you were telling jokes?
No, because back in those days, that was before the census. That's back when I was a cartoonist. When I was dabbling in that world of comedy, which I never did very well at.
Oh, did you ever work for a famous cartoon place?
I used to make comics for Rolling Stone magazine, a young people's music magazine.
I know what it is.
Okay, all right.
Smart ass.
Sure.
I wish you'd come to my door. I'd have fixed your ass good. When you asked me how many guns I have, I'd have shown you a couple of them. All right. So now, on Going Deep, is it just you, or do we have a scientist with you? Because you do this is on Nat Geo, by the way. It starts Monday the 14th. Let's go to the first one here. How to make an ice cube. Garrett Andrews loves this show and loves this stuff. And you're making an ice cube out of what's perfect water, which I didn't realize this. If you just took straight H2O, 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen, and you drank it, it can do you harm, I heard.
Yeah, totally. I mean, a big part of the show is going to experts to figure out the science and the best way to do all these simple things. Mm-hmm. And so we had heard that pure water made good ice, so we thought, well, why don't we find just the purest water possible? But it turns out, so we went to this lab in Massachusetts that makes ultra-pure water, which they actually use for cleaning electronic equipment. Mm-hmm. Because if you take all the minerals and chemicals out of water, like the water that comes out of your tap or even spring water, the water becomes kind of like a sponge and starts leaching minerals and electrolytes out of your body. If you drink enough ultra-pure water, it can kill you. It'll drain you of everything that you need to survive because it is literally just hydrogen and oxygen, which is not what makes water taste like water. What makes water taste like water is like the minerals and stuff. If you're in a different part of the country, the water can taste different from how it tastes at your home.
Do you know what egg water is?
That sounds disgusting.
Down south in Mississippi, when I was a kid, we would go to Picayune, Mississippi. My dad owned a bunch of land, and there was a family called the Spears, and there was a mom and dad and these 2 boys, and they had long hair, and the mom would wash their hair and pump water, and the water would come out of the ground ice cold, right? And pump water and wash their hair and all. We'd go visit, and we'd run around. There was a pond and all that. And one day I drank a glass of this ice cold water, and it had sulfur in it. And they drank it all the time, and it was called egg water.
It's supposed to be healthy, but it's just
undrinkable.
Yeah.
And when you put it up to your nose, and I was thirsty, it was like 90 degrees, it's summertime, I'm like, 10 years old or whatever. Well, I start my bitching early. And, egg water. So that's the only, and of course in New York, where we are, I drink tap water here. But in New Orleans, they warn you maybe tap water, you shouldn't be drinking it. And it doesn't taste as good. And it also foams a little bit. The impure water foams. So did you do any research on dangerous water? I don't get what happens. The water wants minerals. Is that the deal? It wants to take them?
Yeah, because those molecules want to absorb surrounding minerals and other substances. Which is, like why water comes out tasting like the pipes or whatever sometimes. Mm-hmm. Or, in your horrible situation, it tasted like the sulfur that was probably present in the spring or the well or whatever.
It's like a woman that smokes and her vagina tastes like cigarette smoke.
Which is why you don't make ice cubes out of that.
No, you don't. Or for you women,
the taste of the drink.
Your women that are listening, you can reverse that. And, for the other thing that she could taste. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, now I never want to have another ice cube again.
Right. Now, you make these perfect ice cubes, and they glitter like a diamond, and it's perfect because it's just H2O. That's why it's perfect.
No, you need to keep the minerals in. An ice cube that was made out of pure H2O would do you damage. I mean, they let me drink some ultra pure water, but I was only allowed to do a shot because it's kind of dangerous. So
really?
What you want is spring water that has a nice balance of minerals, so it's pleasantly it might have a mild taste, but it's basically neutral tasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you boil it to get rid of some of the impurities, and then you let it settle, and then you put it in a deep dish, and you freeze it like in a cake pan. And when it comes out of the freezer, all the oxygen bubbles and air bubbles have moved into the center of the block, which is why a lot of freezer ice cubes kind of look milky, Those are all the air bubbles that have been trapped in the ice and pushed to the center.
Mm-hmm.
So then you take a kitchen knife or an ice pick and you hack away the outer edges of the block of ice because those are clear. They've been cleaned out of all the air bubbles. And those are the pieces of ice that then you refine and you use a clothes iron to smooth out the sides to get nice big cubes. And these big cubes, because they don't have a lot of impurities in them, will melt very, very slowly, which is why it's good for cocktails, like whiskey,
Well, wait a minute. Why isn't it dangerous to put the pure ice cube into the cocktail when it starts absorbing whatever the hell it is?
No, because you don't use ultra-pure water. This is what I'm saying. We thought that ultra-pure water would be the best, but ultra-pure water is deadly. So this is a warning to people. Don't over-purify your water. Don't buy a $2,000 water filter that's made for industrial cleaning. You don't need to do that.
Hold on a second.
You can make ice cubes for less than $1,000 in the privacy of your own home. That's the message.
Hold on a minute. We interrupt this interview. Who is that?
Let him say hi. I bet you'll know.
Who is it?
Hey there, Jay.
Oh my God! It's Shawnee from Boston.
Yes.
I saw you in the men's room, and you said hi to me, and I just said hi, and I ran by you.
Oh my God!
I wanted to save it for
David. I'm so sorry, but we have a man with a horrible, afflicting stutter, and I'd never seen him in person, and he's coming to the studio. Say hello to David Reese from Nat Geo's Going Deep, a new show. Say hello.
Hi there, David. How are you, buddy?
There you go.
I'm good. I used to live in Boston. Where do you live?
I actually live out by Framingham.
Right.
Oh, okay.
He's a stand-up comic in Boston, also.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he does 20 minutes in an hour.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the light comes on like real early for him. So,
you should always ignore the light.
Shawnee, enjoy yourself. You're right there. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So now let's move on to, this sounds ridiculous. You're going to do, how stoned do you think your viewers have to be to sit through an episode about an ice cube, or here's the next one, how to open a door? Come on.
Okay, you're going to tell me that you've never gone to open a door and you've pushed when you should have pulled, or pulled when you should have pushed?
Yeah, but that's not an episode.
Every
That's a show.
day.
That's a
Every
show.
day.
That's bullshit. It's not a show.
What about going through a revolving door and you misjudge the speed of the door, and so you push too hard or you push too slowly? Or you try to do the lazy man special where you let other people push and you're walking through and then they exit the door and then it comes to a stop and you're stuck like a fish in an aquarium.
How about an episode where you reach in to try and find your penis to pee and you can't grab a hold of it? How about that one?
That would be on Nat Geo After Dark.
Yeah. All right. So you, on an episode of Going Deep, will teach people how to walk up to a door and be able to identify push, pull, open, whatever it is. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You learn everything you need to know as you're approaching the door to so-called open the door with your eyes before you actually engage the door physically, so that then you can move through the door perfectly fluidly and you won't make an ass of yourself at a fancy restaurant or whatever.
Now, the doors here leading from the elevator to the Sirius lobby has a pull handle, but you have to push it.
Exactly.
So there's a trick that you show in the show about how to identify this ahead of time?
Yeah, because door handles can be very misleading. The thing that you need to look for are things like where the lock is located. You need to check below the door to see if there are any hasps or bolts that have it secured.
There is. There's a bolt because you have to have a card to get in. So it releases a bolt at the bottom of the door, and that's the biggest problem. People pull on it, and it's a push door. How do you tell the difference? How do you do it?
A big part of it is location of hinges and location of those boxes on the tops of the doors that affect how slowly the door closes behind you. If you can sort out that stuff as you're approaching the door, that'll give you the information you need to open the door correctly.
Well, here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at time. So I get out of the elevator and I look at the hinges, right? And I'm walking toward the elevator now at a normal pace. I look down and I see the whatever it is down there, the lock system or whatever. and I go, I think I have to push the door, or is it faster to go like this? Can you open the fucking door, please? Push it.
Well,
I push, and then you're in. What's the difference in time there? It's really.
So we do. So in that episode, How to Open a Door, we actually talked to a jazz drummer about the optimal knocking technique for knocking on a door.
Jesus, you're an idiot.
What
a show. What a show.
You're going to like this. And he actually wrote a custom percussive knock for me and me only, so that when I knock on a door, the knock is so distinctive, people will know it's me, and they'll know to open the door.
Is it shaving the haircuts 2 bits?
It's slightly more advanced. It has a little syncopation to it. It has a little swing to it because he's a jazz drummer.
Nice.
Wow, I mean, when you pitched it, did you pitch it to more people than Nat Geo, or did they just hear this idea and jump right on board?
No, we pitched it to, I can't remember if it was 10 or 12 networks, and Nat Geo was really enthusiastic, and they said, they gave us a lot of creative freedom, and I think being with National Geographic got us access to certain scientists and labs that maybe we wouldn't have had access to otherwise.
Yeah.
Who turned this down?
Yeah, it's a good fit.
Everybody turns them down. You take a reality show out, which I've done, and you take it to 10 or 15 people, and they turn it down. And I just did this morning. You wait 2 years, everyone is left. The DIY network used to be for your FYI. For your information is now for your inspiration. Ooh. They've changed everyone.
Religious?
No.
Oh.
They want you to learn things without you being taught anything. That's their new thing.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
The We Network was women's entertainment. The new president is from True TV, and now it means we, meaning everyone, is included. And so we can go back to those networks, so they have all new. They fired everybody. Everybody's fired. I went through a whole list today, like the Learning Channel, TLC. You cannot say that if you have a meeting with them. You can't say, well, what do you guys want to do here at the Learning Channel? They go, do not call it. It's TLC, right?
TLC, right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember back in the day when the Learning Channel in the middle of the night would just show like open heart surgery and brain surgery with no music and no commentary in real time.
No warning.
It was like super hardcore educational programming.
Yeah.
I don't think that's part of their lineup anymore.
No, it is not.
Nope, now it's all Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah, all that stuff. So Monday, July 14th, going deep. I know I'm keeping you here a long time, but it's so I'm gonna see if I know something. Swatting flies. Flies, I believe you have to bring your hand from the back of the fly because they have don't they have like 1 million eyes or something in the front? Isn't it?
Right. So everyone assumes that flies can have 360-degree total panoramic vision because of the way their eyes are structured.
Right.
They have 2 eyes, but the eyes have like these like planar surfaces. It's a very unusual eye, and their brains are incredibly efficient. Obviously, I don't think this is a spoiler, but a fly's brain is smaller than a human brain. But the work the neurons in the brain that actually do is much more efficient than the way our brains work, which is why their reaction time is so incredibly swift. So yeah, you want to approach from behind and below to maximize your chances of swatting a fly.
I thought that was because a fly, they slowed down how they take off, and they actually go back for a little bit first and then go forward.
It really depends. I mean, flies are incredible because they can anticipate, a lot of how they know to move is due to a change in the air pressure, which is why fly swatters have holes in them to try to minimize the pressure differential as the swatter's approaching the body of the fly. Mm-hmm. Their body is covered in little hairs that sense, changes in air pressure, and they can just take off in just about any direction. Oh, okay. And they process.
Christina's body is covered in little hairs like that. She can get away from anybody at any moment. Yep. If they try to put their hand on her ass, her hairs come up, and then she's gone a little while ago.
Yeah, flies are super, super efficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? I made a T-shirt, didn't sell. It said, "Eat shit." 5 billion flies can't be wrong. I did that for years. And no one bought it.
Can't imagine
why.
No one
bought it. So here's, I'm the paper airplane thing. The reason why I'm interested in that, we had a guy on that's attaching drone equipment cameras to paper airplanes. We had him on just a couple of weeks ago.
What kind of paper airplanes can support that?
He said a regular one. He said it was a regular one, didn't he? Or was
Yeah,
it,
it was
was
like
it construction paper?
iPhone kind of little lightweight thing. He said, right?
Yeah. He puts like a GoPro on it.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean a little tiny something or other.
Spy camera kind of thing.
Yeah.
A motor with a
Like
propeller.
a super tiny thing?
Yeah, he throws it in offices and stuff. I mean, it's for sale for use. Here's one. In the movies, people, they're going to kill the guy. You're going to dig your own grave, right? And if you've ever dug a hole for a large rooted plant, and now, Shawnee, you're a prepper, right?
Yes.
You've dug a lot of holes.
Yes.
You post holes to stop the enemy from coming.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Put the mic up around your face. How long does it take you to dig a 6-foot hole that would be 6 feet long and I guess, I don't know, what, 2 feet wide to put a body in? How long would that take?
Well, in my yard, I have tons of field stones, so it's taken an awfully long time.
A long time. So now, when you say how to dig a hole, are you talking about a big hole, David?
My goal for that episode, I had a vision of a hole, and I named it the party hole. And it was a hole that was just for me that I could get in and sit down in and just watch the world go by.
Right.
So I had to learn the proper tool technique, proper shoveling technique. I did talk to a grave digger who's been...
Is rule number 1, hire a Guatemalan?
No, I did it all myself. This show is all about doing it yourself.
Oh, I gotcha.
I have to say that where I'm from, party hole means a whole other thing.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, we had to fight for that to stay in the show, but I'm glad it did because it's a big hole. And the thing about digging holes is, and any preppers out there should know this. Once you're digging down to like waist level or shoulder level, you need to brace the sides of your holes because if it collapses on you and caves in on you, it could conceivably crush your rib cage and make it impossible to inhale more oxygen. It could kill you.
Well, wait a minute. We're watching a hole being dug now by 3 Central American gentlemen, and they have not braced the side, have they, Garrett? They haven't.
Oh no, and they're above their head by 3 or 4 feet.
They're now almost in an 8-9 foot hole. Okay.
Okay, so you need to put me on speakerphone with them so I can tell them that bracing a hole is really important because
Do you
it
speak
can
Spanish?
kill you.
Well, no, now they've hit water and they're in water. They're down about.
They're digging a well by hand.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In Central America. So how would they brace the sides?
You want to increase the pressure against the wall, so a lot of times people just use 2x4s to brace it. We actually went to an old copper mine in Colorado to see how they use, they kind of shoot darts into the rock wall to brace the wall. So, because obviously mines collapse all the time. Like, that's an incredibly dangerous profession. And the same principle applies if you're just digging in dirt.
Oh, these guys are in real trouble right now. I mean, they're so deep. Now they're
30
like
feet under.
They're easily 15 feet down. Easy.
They should have waited until that episode aired.
Yeah. All right.
Are you, like at parties, are you known as Mr. Know-It-All guy, or do you try to keep it to yourself?
Well, you have a smart alecky kind of
You seem like you know a lot about a lot
attitude.
of different
You got a smart alecky kind of
nice
face.
about it
I mean,
Well,
you got a
I'm
smart
kind of
alecky kind of. I know everything. I know all kind of stuff.
You know, if you're digging that hole, you better put a brace once you get below 5 feet.
Yeah, that's how you're going to do it. You never find your penis that way. You know what I mean?
One of my hobbies is driving around town and yelling at people who are digging holes. That's, I don't know if that means I'm a smart aleck. It just means I'm safety conscious. I'm just looking out for my fellow man.
Well, I tell you what, cartoonist, stand-up, comedian, I mean, and you were a big comic book guy too. You read Rex Morgan, MD comics. That's real old school, right?
That was old school. I grew up with Dr. Morgan. He was a good doctor.
Right. And then you drew comics for your college newspaper. I mean, you've just got the whole nerd thing going. Do you like girls?
I don't have time for them. I'm married to the show right now. I'm in a monogamous relationship with this TV project.
Wow, what a bad answer, but that's all right. David Reese, Going Deep, premieres. He's not a bad-looking guy. Look at him, Christina. Look at him.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, he's all tied up with his shoes.
It's a shame that he's married to a show.
Yeah. Monday, July 14th at 10 o'clock on Nat Geo. And that'll premiere. Thanks a lot, David. Informative.
Thank you, guys. It was
And
good to talk to you again.
And we'll have you back on if the show does well. That's how it works.
Okay, sounds good.
I like to hang
So
with
good
winners.
luck.
I like to hang with winners, my friend.
I understand. Let's hope I'm a winner.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye. I did a little relationship talk, and that kind of cooled him, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think that show proves that mankind has way too much time on its hands.
Well, actually, it's a stoner show. That's a Shuley show right there. I mean, how to shake a hand, how to open a door. But, I always learn stuff. I'll tell you the thing that I learned out of Esquire magazine. The ketchup bottle was made so that the neck of the ketchup bottle was physically made for you to take 2 fingers of my right hand. You put the ketchup bottle on your other 2 fingers, and you just tap it with 2 fingers, and the ketchup comes rolling out. You just tap the neck.
Yeah.
It was ergonomically made to do that. So you just take I forget if I had it, you put it on your hand, you put it on something, on the side of the plate or whatever, and or you hold it in the air, and you just tap it with your fingers, and the ketchup comes roaring out.
I just squeeze mine.
Oh, you use that?
Yeah.
I don't
Bang
like
the
that.
57.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Keith of Colorado. Yes, Keith. Hello, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay, you need to call that guy back because I want to know when the episode How to Wipe Your Ass is coming on. I want to see that.
Yeah, I thought about bringing that up because that's a big rift between people.
What do you mean?
There's a whole crowd that stands up and wipes.
Yeah,
like,
it's unreal.
50% of
You know why you shouldn't
the
stand up?
population.
It gets the poo-poo on the walls of your rear end.
That's what I would think, but people that stand up say, I'm not going to, what am I going to reach underneath and get my hand close to the poo and the water or the toilet paper?
Well, that's why there's soap and hot water.
That's why this is a big debate.
You know what? What I say, when people say, what do you use to wipe your ass? I go, call a Guatemalan. That's what I say. Have them come right in. Do you know that when I went to France and I went to that big castle, not Marseille, what is it? It's where Louis XIV, the guy that chopped his head off. Versailles. So you go in and there were no bathrooms, and you're walking through, and it looks like, Downton Abbey. And there's no toilet, right? And so we said to the docent, I said, so what's and I actually said to Elle toi, je l'appelle. And the docent said back to me, oh, elle est la duke. It meant the dukes did it. That was a duke's job. A duke had silk handkerchiefs, and when the king took a dump, the duke's job was to wipe his ass over the bowl. Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then the handmaidens would do it for the queen.
Makes you wonder how John Wayne got his nickname.
Oh, there you go. Let's go to James in Southern California. Yes, James, go ahead. Shawnee's in our studios. What are you visiting for, Shawnee? What are you?
You.
Just coming in, huh?
Yeah, well, I was just camping on the beach for the last week.
You look like you literally have not bathed in a month or two. I mean, you look pretty ratty.
What?
No, he doesn't. He looks bronzed and tan.
No, he looks ratty.
No,
well,
he does not.
Showered, but I didn't bathe, per se.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, James, go ahead. I'm sitting next to a camper.
What the hell was that?
That's this guy, Sean. He's in the studio. Go ahead.
Ah, what a bunch of monkey business you got going on.
All right, we don't need your comments. Just what did you call about?
Hey, no, I love you, man. Anyways, you got pencils and what have you, man. I run a strip club for a living, man. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is that? Why? Now what do I say? Do you own the strip clubs?
No, I don't. I started bouncing about 15 years ago.
So you're a big muscle-bound fella.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You like late at night when they're drunk to hit them as hard as you can? See if you can knock them out?
Absolutely not.
Yes,
Absolutely
you do.
not.
Yes, you do. You fucking bouncers. You're always hitting somebody, trying to knock them out.
Absolutely not. Gift to gab, my friend.
Really? You have the gift to gab? Now, what about this woman that we talked about from South Dakota? She made...
my mother's from South Dakota, Wabash, South Dakota.
Really? Has your mom ever made $600,000 in 4 years stripping?
Absolutely not. She's an excellent woman. My father was a lawyer, yeah.
All right, okay. So at your clubs in Southern California, can women make that kind of money in 4 years, $600,000?
Not unless they're doing a bunch of monkey business. No.
It's the second time he said monkey business.
Monkey business.
Right. Well, what can we do for you?
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Honestly, I want to let you know I'm a big fan. I love your show.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to know about the bad tippers in Vegas, like the celebrities,
Yeah.
give you the lowdown, my friend.
Now, you own these strip clubs, or you work at them in Southern California. How would you know the bad tippers in Las Vegas? How would you'd hear about them?
My good friends
Yeah.
are working out in Vegas.
So they go in, the women strip, and then they don't give the proper amount of money. Is that what you're saying?
I'm talking about the celebrities, the gentlemen.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a couple of names. Bad tipper.
Okay, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's a bad tipper.
He will go into, formally, it's the bank. It's
Allegedly. He goes into a strip club. Yeah.
All right, allegedly, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
Goes into light,
Mm-hmm.
gets everything for free,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't tip any waitress or bartender anything,
Because he's Michael Jordan.
and then goes downstairs and puts $10,000 on the pass line.
Right. He's Michael Jordan. That's how he has gambling money, by the way. He doesn't tip.
Yeah, and
That's right.
Okay.
Well, it's true. Now look, you're James. So you go to a club, no one's giving you anything for free. You're James. You got to tip. You got to do it all. If you were James the star, it's a big deal that they get to be with him. So his tip is that you're in his visage. You're there. You're in his world for a moment. And you can brag that you were with him, near him. He spoke to you. That's the tip.
All right, sir. You're a star. All right.
I'm not a star. I don't get anything free. I don't get anything.
You go out to dinner. I know what you take care of the waiters.
Oh, me, I tip. Of course I do. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I went to a
You don't
very
have half the
expensive.
money that-
I went to a restaurant last night that was more expensive than I knew it was going to be. And oh yeah, and these bills start coming, and I went, oh, don't worry, I'll pay. And when it came time to tip the waitress, the tip should have been $50. And this is stupid. I left 40. I mean, come on, Jay. I saved 10 whole. I know, $10 whole. The bill was $250, and I should have left $50. And that was dumb. I was just so mad that it was in my family.
Were you in full? It was one of those where
I have no taste buds.
Then you have to leave and go get a hamburger or something.
I got $1 pizza later and a chocolate cone for $3.
All right.
Because I couldn't taste the stuffed grape leaves. I couldn't.
Meta World Peace over at China Grill in Vegas.
That you actually call him Meta World Peace. You say that. You say that name. You know what? Only one other person calls him that. His own mother. His own mom. Yeah, Meta World. Because when you buy your mama a house, she says whatever the fuck you want her to say. Okay? Oh, here comes Meta World Peace. Bought me a house.
He's got the money.
He does. And what did he do?
20-person party at China Grill in Vegas.
Yeah.
In Mandalay Bay.
Alleged. Go ahead.
Okay, alleged. What is this going on with the tip? He took off the tip, tipped $10 on a $2,000 tab.
Well,
allegedly.
First of all, they're supposed to put in a tip automatically. That's
exactly.
why. Wait a second.
Jay, he argued with the manager about it, bro. I'm not joking with you.
Meta World Peace did that?
Yeah, Ron Artest. He said, SHIT.
No, wait a second. And so how did it end up? A $10 tip? That was it?
$10 tip on a $2,100 tab.
Now, why didn't he want a tip? There had to be a reason. The girl, the waiter, the waitress, somebody was rude to him.
My friend, your guess is as good as mine. Even if she was rude.
Yeah.
Would you, let me ask you, Mr. Thomas.
Sure. You know what? You're kind of off, aren't you? when you were a kid, did they put you in special classes and stuff? Because you sound a little off to me.
Yeah, I was in the GATE program, but I never showed up.
You should have. You should have shown up.
Apparently, the GATE was closed.
And it was. So, all right. Well, I don't know why celebrities. You ought to get out of this business. It seems to really be upsetting you much more than normal. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. I'm just trying to give you the lowdown.
You will? All right. Have you ever thought about maybe waiting for them when they come out and when they get alone because you're a big guy, just jumping them and beating the shit out of them for not tipping?
Absolutely not, my friend. Kill them with kindness.
All right. All right, James, thank you very much. Call us again later when we have absolutely no one on the line, all right?
Okay, well, apparently when you have something more important than pencils to talk about, I'll call you later.
Oh, you don't like the guest now?
He was very upset when he called back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
when
really?
I told him that we would call him, he called back and goes,
well, we had a guest talking
what's
about
this monkey business? You're talking about pencils.
I keep saying monkey business.
Yeah, that's what he
All
said.
right.
Mr. Thomas, get the lead out, okay?
Oh, God. Let's go to Matt of Cleveland. Matt, the Republicans announced today they're going to have their convention in Cleveland because Cleveland is America. Did you read that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good to get on. Good to talk to you, Jay.
Well, you know what they say? They say that the Republicans at every convention, they're the ones that just load the strip clubs, load them. The Democrats do it all the time, so it's no big deal to them when they come into a town. But boy, your strippers are going to make a ton of money when that convention comes to town.
Yeah, that isn't why I called. But yeah, the escorts and the hookers and everything at the GOP convention is always
very excited. Very. What did you call about?
I was listening to the On Demand from last week, this past weekend, and you were talking about black names. You know where the names come from. And
You want to hear something? Hold on a minute.
Sure.
We're not talking about that today.
I know.
That's
but
over.
I had an answer.
No, you know what? The only name that I think a black person ought to have is Anthony. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I don't care about that. If I was a black family right now, I'd name my child Anthony. If I ever wake up and I'm black, I'm changing my name to Anthony. That's what I'm doing. I was told to say nothing but positive things. Let's go to George in Alberta, Canada. Yes, George, go ahead. All the way down on 5.
Hey, I just wondering, I heard on the news last night about the former mayor of New Orleans that he got 10 years in jail. But
he was supposed to get 20.
Oh, well, what happened on it?
Well, believe it or not, it's New Orleans, and it was, I believe it was a federal offense. He should have gotten 20.
Mm-hmm.
He is, I guess, in his 50s, and they said that 20 was a life sentence. Now, here's the weird thing. If he's good, does he only serve 3 to 5 years? That's the weird thing. Now, what this guy did was he took bribes so that his son's countertop company could get the contracts for, I guess, city and state, I don't know what. So that's what he did. He was selling slate and he was marble, and I believe that's what it was.
Well, who turned him in, or do they know?
Oh, well, look, New Orleans, for like, a couple of 100 years, white politicians stole New Orleans blood. And then when black politicians took over in the last, 75 or 80 years, they stole the town blood. Not every one of them, but a lot of them. And even the ones that weren't incarcerated. I mean, we had a mayor that I can't mention now, and he was one of my friend's biggest, cocaine customers. And so this guy now has some huge, job helping, underprivileged people and all that stuff.
So does he go to jail right away, or does he?
He goes to jail right away. Now, after Katrina and FEMA came in there and all this federal money came in, they started doing a crazy thing. They said to the people of New Orleans, you have to give us receipts and we need to see where the money's going to go. Prior to that, you could build a house without a permit. You could pay somebody off. You could do whatever. And so he got caught in that. And that's what happened. And it didn't take much, because nobody was hiding anything. No one. And our mayor now is a wonderful guy. So that's what happened. And now it's hard to build a house, and you have to actually when I got an electrical permit years ago, I was told that the guy would come in and there'd be 2 guys behind him. And the last guy would take the envelope while the first 2 guys walked through the house and did an electrical inspection of a home that I owned many, many years ago, and the walls were closed. So you couldn't even see where the electricity was coming in. And I think they flipped a couple of lights or whatever. I handed the guy an envelope with $300 in it. The big fat guy that was the leader, he leaves, they say goodbye, and my permit came in the mail like, a week later. Yeah, it was wild.
Awesome, then, Jay. Just want to thanks. Yeah.
Well, why would you care about that? Why didn't that son of a bitch in Toronto go to jail?
Rob Ford.
Why doesn't he go to jail?
Yeah, well, he probably will soon, but...
No, he's not.
No, probably not. But I remember a couple years ago I phoned in, and you got rid of me, so I'm glad you didn't get rid of me this time.
Well, this is, every now and again, odd people call. The guy that owns the strip, runs them, or whatever, he was odd. Our guest was odd, and you're odd. And Shawnee is here, and he's odd. So we've got nothing but odd people. Yes, Shawnee, go ahead.
I don't know, but this guy sounds like a Canadian version of Ass Napkin Ed, right?
You sound like Ass Napkin Ed of Canada.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, right?
I forget, he hasn't called in a while.
Yeah, we don't remember it.
Hold
You're
on.
like me.
I remember.
Christina knows
I know.
him, yeah.
Go ahead. Keep talking. Tell me about the weather or something.
I was going to say the weather right now here, it's 88 degrees.
All right, get rid of him, please. Just stop it. Just fucking stop it. Let's go to Pat of New Jersey. Is it stand up or sit down, Pat, when you're taking care of your fecal matter? On line one, please, Garrett. Can we hook him in? Yes, I don't want any more calls after this. I've been here before, and they love to talk about poo-poo. They love it, and we're not doing it. Pat, go ahead.
All right, so I stand up when I'm going to wipe my ass, right? But I had a huge debate on my buddy who sits down, but also, too, I fold the paper, and he crumples his up into a big ball.
No, I'm a paper folder.
Yeah, you have to fold it.
No, crumple.
You're a crumpler.
Yeah, but
Shawnee,
too much.
Shawnee, what do you do?
Well, first I crumple, and then I wrap a few around, so it's like...
He crumples and wraps. Wow.
What do you got going on out of there, Shawnee?
Wait a second. Do you ever get it stuck in the pipe?
No, I've learned to make them small.
All right, like little Mediterranean meatballs.
What about moist ones?
Moist towelettes.
Yeah.
You know what? I really would like.
I'm a big fan of them.
I would too, but they get the thing. What do you call it? Sopped up. Yeah, they get the thing stopped up.
No. They make ones. You're not supposed to use baby wipes. The adult ones they make specifically so that you can flush them down the toilet.
Now in the Middle East, sometimes they will shake your hand with their left hand because they wipe with their right hand with no paper. They wipe themselves and then they wash their hands. But when you see Middle Eastern men, you ever see that? They kind of shake with their left hand. You never want to shake a sheik's hand because he might have just wiped. Now look, if I had that thing they wear, I would just get up and wipe it with my dress, whatever that outfit is they have on, or I would take a part of my headdress off, give it a little tug, a little wipe. So, all right, thank you very much. Let's go to Jay's in Colorado. Yes, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, hey, I just want to call and mention that the guy who says...
you ever wipe your ass with rolling papers?
No, I just drinking purified water. I'm wondering if I'm going to die this afternoon because of how fucking dangerous it is.
No, the water you drink out of those bottles cannot be purified like he did it.
Yeah. Jay, distilled water is 100% purified.
No, it isn't. It is not. No, it's not. It is not.
Wikipedia, genius.
It is not, asshole. It is not.
Jay, bust his ass.
It is not. No, it's not.
I hate when people use Wikipedia as their source.
First of all, Wikipedia can be, anybody can go on there and say anything. This guy made...
I forgot more about water chemistry than you will ever know.
This guy took H2O.
This is a fact. There's no solids in distilled water.
Sir, you sound foolish to me.
I'm sitting here drinking pure water. I might die any...
You know what, Jay? You know what's weird? And I think I join everyone listening when I say this. We hope it comes true.
Okay, well, I'll keep drinking and we'll find out.
Keep drinking, yeah. And then if you don't call back, we'll know you're dead. Thank you.
Roger that.
All right, roger that. Good God. That means he was in the armed services fighting for my freedom. Thank you. All right, Shawnee is here, And there'll be a lot to discuss. I didn't know I guess I did know you're coming in, or you just left a message and said you drove
Told
in
you yesterday, yeah.
from the beach
Yes.
to come in. Well, that's wonderful. And is it weird to see the voice coming out of the face?
It is.
It's odd, right? I know. I think the same
I'm
thing.
feeling. You're probably feeling the same.
You're odd looking. I mean, you look. You know what you look like? You look like one of those pirates on Black Sails. Which you ever watch that show?
No.
Oh, that's because you have a crank television or one of these things that the preppers have. That's a great show.
Nice.
It's on Stars, I believe. Wow. All right.
Okay.
But you do. You're rough looking.
All right.
You're
thank
rough
you.
looking. You have a gentle fit. You look like Rodney Lee Conover a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
My former friend. So okay.
I get told Jack Black a lot. When I have my full beard, but.
Yeah. Well, you have a moon face. Right? Okay.
Don't say that.
Well, you do. You have a moon face. Your face is. Well, why not say that?
Because that's what I call what's her forget it. I can't think of her
He
name.
is exhausted
what is
already.
E.T. the little girl in E.T.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore
got a moon face. Moons like crescents.
No, that's
a crescent face.
That's a crescent face. That's
you have like a full moon face.
Yeah, you have a circular face.
Like Mac the Knife. That
I've never heard of anyone
Shawnee, you look very
say,
handsome
say
and
you have
clean.
a moon face when it's a half moon. That's not what.
Okay.
That's not. Well, good God Almighty.
It's the Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. A great way to waste 3 hours. The Afternoon Drive Show.
On Indy. Sirius XM 104.
And on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
Always exciting on the Jay Thomas Show when I'm in New York City, from the 36 floors up, overlooking beautiful Manhattan. And tonight, if you're interested, if you're in the area, not many tickets left. I believe there's some tickets for tonight's performance on 42nd Street at the it's called the Jewel Box. It's a woman's name. Alice Griffin Theater. And then I believe a 4 o'clock performance was added for Sunday. And there's only a few tickets left for that. And the play with music is a country, Army, Iraq, meth musical. That's good, isn't it?
That's.
I got it all.
Amazing, yes.
I mean, really, they've got it all. And JT's a terrific songwriter, and the other guy wrote what they call the book. And when I first, saw it and they've been working on it, I thought, good God Almighty. He's got a song about getting clean from meth. How do you write that one? Get clean. He's even got a gay guy with a gun, Garrett. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
we got it all. It's everything in there. And I play Paul. I play Stanley. And I play the chief insurgent. That's right. It's like a Muslim.
Hopefully there's not a subway delay on the way.
If you don't show up, you'll be doing a podcast, okay?
Yes.
I know how much you want to be doing that. Your pal will be starting one up soon, I'm sure. I did Gilbert Gottfried's podcast last night. I guess you go online to GilbertGottfried.com and listen to it. It was fun. You've heard the stories before, but people don't seem to listen to this show all the time and don't know all the stories. All right, Shawnee's here. It's the Jay Thomas Show. All right.
Society's oddities played like a fiddle. The Afternoon Drive Show on Indy Sirius XM 104 and on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
Somebody's holding on line one, Christine. I'm sorry. Hey. Oh, wow. That was on the air, Garrett. I did my phone guy. Yeah, Sirius XM. Hold on, please. I'll be back in a while. Ira, the weatherman, has just come into the studio, and he and Shawnee are reminiscing about stuff. Ira has brought coffee. And you're going to the play tonight. Let's go. Can just hand that mic over.
Oh, yes, I'm coming to the play, Jay.
Yes, you are. What are you expecting tonight? Garrett doesn't want to go. He doesn't like theater.
Garrett doesn't like theater.
No, he doesn't.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I don't either.
Garrett doesn't like anything whatsoever.
Thank you very much.
I like you, Ira.
Well, we all like you, too.
Yeah. Now, Ira, what Garrett doesn't
And
like.
it's going to be 129 degrees in the theater.
Oh, boy, that doesn't sound
Now, what he doesn't like is this. If this was a theatrical production, we'd be talking like this, and then all of a sudden, Shawnee, you would be talking, and you'd break into song. And Garrett doesn't like it.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable thinking about it.
Yeah. So I would be going, Shawnee, so good to have you here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
No, you sing.
Oh, you want me to sing?
Yeah. Can you sing a Boston tune?
How about I know Christina loves this one.
Right.
Letting go, letting go.
Shut your mouth.
Why do you hate that song?
Because I work children's parties on the weekend.
Oh, I see. Now, Ira, what song would you sing if we were doing a musical?
Anyway.
Wow! That was actually pretty good.
Oh, was it?
The cold doesn't bother me anyway.
Well,
you had that little
what are you
falsetto.
humping the chair for when you sing that?
I like that singing. Ira, you sing us a song now.
What song do you want me to sing?
Oh, just break out into song.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven.
Oh, boy. All right. Rod in Florida. Yes, Rod, go ahead. Jay Thomas here. Shawnee is here. Ira, the weatherman, is here. Garrett is over there, and Christina.
Notice nobody asked me to sing. It's fine.
Hey,
go ahead.
Just wanted to pick up on one thing there. You were talking about that show, Black Salesman. What an excellent show!
It is. I love that show, and the women. I love that the women running the pirate base. They're lesbians. They fuck guys. I mean, I love that show. That's a good one.
Did you think that one guy who had that lumber yard out there? Did you honestly think when that season that one show of the season ended that it was going to be Blackbeard?
You know, I knew there was going to be real pirates used because, believe it or not, that's a true story about the pirates trying to make Nassau a independent and democratic pirate country. Did you know that? That's yes, historically true. They wanted if you can imagine every pirate thing we've seen where the pirates are evil, they could vote you out as the captain of a pirate ship. If they voted, you were out because they hated working for the British or the French, I guess, and not having, any control over, who was running the ship.
Yeah, it's really an amazing show, and it's for the most part, I know it's fictional, but it does stay true to history in some parts.
Yeah. Well, also, what's funny? There were only pirates. It sounds weird. I want to say, I want to say it was from 1693 to 1702 or 02. There were only pirates for 7 years. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They didn't last long. And then they became privateers when the United States didn't have a navy, and they said, go ahead and you can attack the British Navy, in our stead because we don't have a navy.
Right.
Yeah.
Now my wife, she's got a lot more time in her hands than I do. She was telling me that this story that they've created takes place 20 years before Treasure Island, I want to say. I'm just going by memory here.
I don't know. I don't know Treasure Island.
It's a precursor to another book, and I think it is Treasure Island. I may be wrong, and somebody out there can correct me if they will.
Well, if you want to read a great book, and this guy just found the money, it's called A Treasure in the. I'm wrong about the title, but the last words are in the deep blue sea, and it's about these guys that went out and found this sunken ship that has just millions of dollars on it, and how they had to keep patrolling the area because other ships were going out there and trying to steal the thing from them. And the guy was like a professor from Ohio and had never ever been out to sea or anything. And I believe just recently the government's allowing him to keep the money. A lot of these companies from back in the 1800s or whatever, they still claim rights to the gold. And they want the gold back, even though you found it. They don't want to give you any of it.
And that's interesting because you're hitting on an accurate point there. Somebody found a wrecked Spanish galleon. I don't know if it was in Key West or in the Bahamas, but they actually, the Spanish government made a claim on that found gold, and the guy ended up in court battling it out. And because, the law of the sea, he won, finders keepers.
Oh, he did win? Sometimes and also, Lloyd's of London was around for a long time, and they insured it, and they paid the insurance, like when 200 years ago or whatever. They want their money back. Like State Farm, they dig up my yard and they find some money. State Farm is going to want the.
State Farm wants it. Yeah.
Ira thinks that's funny. That's funny.
Thanks for bringing up the show. That was really...
That's why I can't wait for it to come back. Ira, okay, thank you. Ira, how does insurance, talk right into that microphone, how does insurance work exactly? How does that work?
Insurance works when,
how does it work?
you get insurance, let's say fire insurance.
Yeah.
Or auto insurance on your car.
Right, what happens?
Put down money for your car.
And you get money. Now you pay a premium. What is a premium? What does that mean, a premium?
Well, you have to put in a premium of, let's say,
talking to the microphone.
$1,800 maybe. Or
wow. Yeah, over the course of a year, you'd pay $1,800.
That's right.
So your car gets stolen, and you.
God forbid you.
Well, God forbid. It's all hypothetical. I don't want you to get upset or get a rash, but it's all hypothetical. So now, Ira, tonight, will you be able to sit silently and not scream and yell at the theater?
I'm gonna be very, very silent.
Silent, and you're gonna sit next to Garrett.
I'll sit next to Garrett.
Now, here's what's crazy about the play: you're allowed to take your drinks into the theater with you, and we encourage it. The play is much better. I'm not joking. At the end of the first act, they were laughing at some of the most dramatic shit we could possibly do. And one of the actors goes, Jesus Christ, they're completely fucking drunk out there. And you can see them knocking the wine and the shit back. I mean, a full bar.
So. Ira was very upset at the start time and the duration of the play.
Well, a regular play is 3 hours long, guys.
Ira has said he was leaving early already.
Ira, it's 2 hours long.
I'm not gonna leave early.
Well, that's not what you told me. That's not what you told me. You turned.
Why, when I'm not around, do you talk behind my back and say things like that to him?
No, I'm gonna stay till the end.
If John Lieberman asked you to leave early to do his show, would you leave early?
No, I would not.
All right.
Wow. All right.
That's a big deal. Because you're doing that John Lieberman show.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, I hope not.
Let him pay me $200. Then I'll sit in the studio with him and
$200.
Who else?
Miss Martino, whatever her name is.
Miss Martino.
I will sit in with her.
All right.
Connie Martino.
All right, let's go to cool. Let's go to Cool Grandma. Are you ready?
Hey, Cool Grandma.
All right.
Well, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show.
Oh, you got it.
Grandma.
There you go. Cool Grandma. All right. Cool Grandma. There you go. Cool Grandma. All right.
Grandma.
All right. You move the mic away from him.
Cool Grandma.
Move him away from him. Let's go to Grover Beach, California. A 75-year-old California grandma, sadly, is facing child cruelty charges after police say she sprayed a 5-year-old neighbor child with pesticides. The child apparently was running around, tearing up, the yard or doing something. The grandma comes out. Julie Wilhelmina Rodenhouse and sprayed weed killer on the child and told the child that it should die like a weed. Told the child it was bad for she was arrested on assault charges, assault with a deadly weapon. Wow. Child endangerment and $100,000 bail. She said she didn't think that kids don't die from roach and ant poisoning.
No. Kids don't die from poison.
What is it called? Roundup? Roundup is what it was. Put a little Roundup on the asshole. And so that's it. Fool grandma.
Well, they do say that kids grow like weeds, right?
That is
That's a good point.
Oh, boy.
Technicality.
Yeah.
He hates it now, but he'll use it later.
Yeah. No. I will never use that. I'll never use it. I thought of it earlier and decided not to. Believe it or not, in the war on terror, years ago, the CIA turned to toys to try and, I guess, insult Osama bin Laden. They would actually make action figures, okay? And they would have a demon action figure, and they were painted with a heat-dissolving material designed to peel off, and then it would show the red-faced bin Laden looking like a demon. So let's say the kids would be playing with it in the desert, and the stuff would melt off of it. They dropped, apparently, thousands of these over the Middle East, and little kids would grab them, play with them, and in the heat, the face of bin Laden. Now you're a libertarian, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
Do you think that's a waste of money to have done that?
Completely.
Complete waste of money.
That is asinine. I mean, send them all the losing Super Bowl shirts and stuff. That's fine,
Right. A Hasbro executive who was instrumental in doing, G.I. Joe and all of that. He was, believe it or not, had them made in China. And then the CIA asked him to make a toy that when the face fell off of it, it would be an evil face of Osama bin Laden. And, I mean, really. Now, I think that this man, Mr. Levine, 86, they should bury him at Arlington and thank him for his service.
Why's that?
He made those toys.
Well,
Right?
I mean, I suppose I can see if they were made in China that we were trying to poison their kids with lead, maybe. Okay.
They've decided to bury him instead at Legoland. All right, that's the joke there.
Jay.
What is it? Give him the microphone. What is it?
Jay, today I picked up such a great movie.
Really? What'd you pick up? What is it?
20 Steps from Stardom.
Oh, yeah, that is a great movie. That stars the woman that does the Letterman show with me. It's all about backup singers and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, Darlene Love.
Bruce Springsteen.
It's wonderful. It really is great.
I picked it up in the library in the...
It's not library. It's library with an R.
Library.
You were told that when you were a little boy, weren't you? How to pronounce it?
Yes.
Well, don't come in here with the mispronunciation.
Library.
Thank you very much. And it was now. Were you singing along and snapping your fingers?
No,
there?
I wasn't. I didn't see it as yet. I want to see it.
Oh! You know what's sad when they all die at the end? Yeah, it's terrible. They're going to a concert. They're all on the bus. They're all singing and happy. And then the next thing you know, one of those retreads blows up, and of course it has an ignition switch made by General Motors. Turns off completely, and when they hit the side of the bridge, they all die.
Well, I'll have to see it.
Yeah. You'll have to take a look. What'd you think of Germany, Ira beating Brazil 7-1? What'd you think?
Germany, I think that's very, very good that Germany won.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Now, as a Jewish person, I would think that you wouldn't ever want Germany to ever do well in anything. I'm not Jewish, but I would never forgive them for what they did. How do you feel about that?
Germany is so-so.
It's a so-so place.
They deserve to win.
Really? So you've forgiven them for the Holocaust?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
My God.
It's nice of you.
That's wonderful of you. My goodness. Would you ever retire to Israel? Did you ever go over there?
Never.
Never? Never.
I like it in New York City.
You like New York City. All right.
What if Shuli went with you?
Who?
Shuli.
Oh! Maybe yes, maybe no.
Hey, by the way, this isn't, this isn't fun.
Oh, then maybe yes, maybe no.
Right.
Yeah, this
Well, I
isn't.
suppose it depends if he paid for them.
Do you have daughters? How old are your daughters?
I have one. She's 8.
Oh, she's 8 years old. This is really weird. This is from Wisconsin. These two 12-year-old girls stabbed one of their friends, and they said they got instructions from a game they play called Slender Man. Do you know that game?
It's not a game. It's just an internet meme.
I've never heard of that. No.
Yeah, it's a mythological demon-like character, and you go to creepypasta.wikia.com. And what is it? Is it like...
it's like stories people... I think the origin is someone took a picture at a wedding or something, and there's this weird, like, shadow-like figure in the picture. And
like maybe an appearance of something, like an apparition.
A ghost,
or something. An apparition, right?
So on this website, I believe it's 4chan, I'm not sure, but they wrote a whole horror story about it, all made up.
Yeah.
And it just caught on, and people made make stories about this guy, Slender Man, and he has all these, I don't know.
Well, apparently these two little girls,
internet fame.
They got their little girlfriend, and they stabbed her to death. And they say that they were told to do it by Slender Man. They became proxies of Slender Man, who would accept them and let them live with him in his mansion in the Nicollet National Forest. And the other girl said she sees Slender Man in her dreams, and he watches her and can read her mind and teleport her around the world. Good God. And they're 12 years old. I don't think they'll go to jail for life, but they murdered this little girl. I knew you'd know about, you know, all kind of creepy stuff, don't you? Yeah. You know, you might have been a kind of a killer kid. Do you let your daughter watch, go on the internet? What does she do? What does she do?
They've got like nabby toys that I can control.
Nabby toys?
Yeah, they go.
Yeah.
It's like a tablet for little kids.
I'd like it when you go back home just to show her Slender Man and just keep an eye on her for a couple of days. See what happens. Crazy, huh?
It is. It's very disturbing.
Yeah. Well, what about what is it? That game they used to play, like a board game, Demons and Dragons.
The Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that would drive kids crazy too.
Well, and then there was kids who would kill themselves over the internet, like the PlayStation games where they what the hell was it called, Garrett? You know, the ones where they were in their own world and they were creating all these points and going levels.
Not the Sims, Second Life.
Second Life? No, that was
EverQuest
too. Yeah, like MMOs.
They would kill themselves.
World of Warcraft.
They would lose all their powers that they had worked for years.
Really?
And yeah, they would keep killing themselves.
Let's go to Jared of Orlando. Jared, you're saying the little girl didn't die? I read she was stabbed 19 times. Is that she didn't die? What happened? What happened?
I don't know. Went away. They're saying that they didn't die, though. The little girl didn't die.
She was stabbed 19 times and lived?
3 people called and said that she didn't die.
Was that the power of Slender Man that kept her alive? Wow. They stabbed her 19 times in the forest and she lived. Oh, okay. So they're up for attempted murder. Man, oh man. So you're 12 years old. So let's say you're 21. You get out when you're 21. What sort of dating life do you think you have after that? Huh?
That's not going to be good.
They face 65 years in prison. They're being charged as adults.
They'll never do it. Vinny of Texas. Yes, Vinny, go ahead. Yeah, the little girl, she was stabbed 19 times and did not die. That's amazing. I'm glad. But, wow. You know Slender Man personally, Vin? You know him?
Yeah, he usually hides out in my closet all the time.
Yeah, he does. He's in your closet.
Yeah, he tells me about Ira and how much he loves Ira.
When you were 12, could anybody talk you into stabbing your friend or anything? It's so weird, those kids, aren't they? Weirdos. Look.
Absolutely not, Jay. And I played Dungeons and Dragons, and that had nothing to do with stabbing people. It's just a mental state of people.
If you're already mentally ill and you watch one of these games, you're going to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'd be I'd be afraid of the little girl stabbed 19 times who doesn't die. Well, I got to tell you.
Someone on a bicycle was driving by and saw her and saved her. That's how. That's the only reason why she lived.
Well, the other little girls
Did he
didn't
apply
stab.
pressure?
They said that one of the knife wounds I'm seeing now came within some really close thing to her heart. So that means they jabbed some knives in her, way deep. Good God Almighty! You know, Jesus Christ, horrible. And you gotta think the kids are weird, the parents are weird. Jesus Christ.
There are kids that you see all the time that
Weird.
are weird. They're
Do
just
you
weird.
ever have a play? Thank you. You ever have a play date? And you think the kids are weird? That are
Absolutely. I actually banned one kid from on my house.
How do you do that?
I said to my wife, "Don't ever let him over here again."
Why? What did he do?
Oh, within a matter of five minutes, he had broken my front door handle, threw a candy bar in the pool, and had hit my son's friend off the head with a brick.
Get out of here! He threw a candy bar and a brick.
Yes. Oh, and I'm sorry, and he also opened up a bag of cheese puffs. Went everywhere, like tore it and just everywhere.
Now, do his parents know that he's been banned from your home?
Yes. Well, we made it clear. Yeah.
Yeah. How long did that take to make it clear?
It actually took longer than you'd think.
Yeah, I would imagine that, especially with the stutter of yours. Telling the kid, Garrett, you better.
I'm coming over to your house to keep that kid out from your house. Period.
What's that again? Never
Not
again?
coming over to your house anymore.
Were you ever allowed on a play date, Ira? They'll let you go to a friend's house and play?
No, never.
No, of course not.
I never was kicked out of any
No,
place.
not kicked out. Did you ever even go play at anyone's house?
Oh, yes, a few people's houses.
What was your little friend's name when you were 8 or 9 years old? Give me a friend's name.
Louis.
Louis, you lucky smiler.
Aw.
What was Louis? Was Louis Italian, Jewish? What was he?
Louis, I think he was Italian.
What was his last name?
I don't know.
Lasagna? Louis Lasagna? That's a good Italian name.
You still speak to Louis?
Look, he's smiling. He's I brought back. What game did you and Louis play that made you smile so much?
Oh, we used to watch TV together.
Oh, my
The Howdy Doody show.
Oh, my God. Howdy Doody. All right. It's Howdy Doody time.
That's right.
Oh, we would dance around. And Buffalo Bob would come
That's right.
Hiya, kids.
And also,
Hiya. Yeah.
the Milton Berle show we
Wow.
used to watch.
Get the Howdy Doody. Get the Buffalo Bob would come out, Garrett, and he would sing to the boys.
It's
and girls.
Howdy Doody time.
Oh, yeah.
It's Howdy Doody time.
Yeah. This how we wipe your duty. This is how we wipe your duty. Yeah. It's Howdy Doody time. Herman of Chicago.
Hi, Herman. How you doing?
Yes, Herman, go ahead.
Hey, how are you, man? Love the show, Jay.
Thanks.
Hey, yeah, that girl, she crawled out of the woods, man. They stabbed her, and she pretended like she was dead, and she got out of the woods, survived.
Wow.
Two psycho kids, man.
You know, when
But,
she grows up, I would hate to meet her in divorce court. I can tell you that.
Yeah. When I was younger, I'd be fucking terrified of those kids with the fucking Ouija board, man. To see they play that Ouija.
Yeah, you know what? I was a kid too, and we played that, but I don't know if aren't we moving the the thing I liked was the girl you'd have to touch the girl's knees. That's what I liked. So your legs are touching underneath, and then you'd move. And I would have it write, I love you to the girl, and then she would write, I don't, or whatever, she'd write something. But you move
Thank
it yourself, which is such
She'd
bullshit.
write, thank you.
No, she wouldn't put
I don't know, man. Spirits are out there.
Right, here we go. All right, thank you very much.
All right.
There we are, ladies. Let's go back to Irish childhood. Yeah. You and Louie. Yeah.
It's great to have you back
No, this isn't it.
This isn't it.
No, you don't know this song.
1958.
No.
Wait, when
no.
are we going to go? It's Howdy.
No, it's Buffalo Bob. Buffalo Bob singing. The original Howdy Doody. Buffalo Bob. Here we go.
This sounds authentic.
This is getting better. Come on,
Sounds
Buffalo.
authentic.
There's Buffalo Bob. Hiya, kids. Hiya. It's me, Buffalo Bob. Come on out here.
Oh, well, how
Hooty doody, boys and girls. And howdy, Buffalo Bob. Well, howdy, Mr. Doody. And boys and girls at home in all our peanut galleries, let's go! It's howdy doody time. It's howdy doody, yeah. Bob Smith and howdy doody. Say howdy doody, you. Let's give a round each year. What's howdy doody's here?
We're bringing it back.
Wow. So kids, let's go!
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And first, kids, Howdy and I know that all of you can see us on your television sets.
That's right.
But did you know that Howdy and I can see every one of you, too? Whoa. Yes, sir, kids! Oh. When I look across the nation, what a thrill. What does it say?
Ira, how old were you when you watched the Howdy Doody show?
I must have been around 4 years old.
Wow.
5 years old.
And you could remember the words and everything.
That is right.
Your face just lit up like a menorah
Well,
candle.
I used to like that show. That show brings back memorabilia.
It brings back memorabilia.
That is right.
That would be more like a poster or maybe something you would smoke marijuana
like
in.
Old memory.
It brings back old memories. Well, it's wonderful. Yeah, and now your face lit up. And now,
That
did you?
is
What?
right.
Talking to them. What sort of snack would your mom make for you?
I used to have peanuts.
Oh, just peanuts.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't have that allergy. That horrible allergy. And you and Louie would sit there.
Me and Louie would sit there.
Now, when you were little, did anybody? I mean, I did this. We all did it. Did Louie? You ever pull your pants down? You and Louie look
never.
at each other's
Never.
TTs.
No.
What did you call your wiener back then?
My wiener, my balls. My testicles. My testicles.
You called it your wiener and your balls and
testicles.
And your testicles. Well, that's good. So you had like a regular little childhood. People they want to know about you. Everybody wants to know about you.
Well, they're gonna know about me.
They're gonna whether they like it or not, they're gonna know about Ira the weatherman. All right, great.
Jay Thomas. The Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show.
Indy.
Sirius XM 104. And on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
Hey, by the way, starting on Monday, I would say the 14th, we will be on Channel 102. Is that right?
Isn't it the 17th?
I was not told anything.
I heard July 17th.
I had a meeting this morning.
July 17th?
I wasn't told anything.
July 17th.
I thought it was next Monday.
The 17th would be a Wednesday.
Wednesday or something.
Well,
kind of nutty.
they blogged about it, SiriusXM.com.
17th? Okay.
17th.
My apologies. The 17th, we will switch. It'll be next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that, today's Thursday? Is it a week from today or a week from yesterday?
Today's the 10th, so a week from today.
Oh, excuse me. It's a week from today. That's why they told me to announce it. So in 7 days, and the reason why, I think they're moving Vivid, down the line, somewhere. And then, there's gonna be, Howard 100, then Howard 101, which we're also on Friday afternoon. And then there's 102. And then right after us, Opie and will be broadcasting. Because you need a space there. Yeah, something happened.
We used to be 102.
A long time ago.
A long time.
I was 146 at one time. I went everything. 146, 120.
108, I think.
A bunch of them.
Sirius 102.
Well, there you go. He's already
Cut it.
practicing. He's already got it.
Mark it.
Indy 102. Yeah. So we'll be doing it. And then, they figure that they've got all the talk channels there in a line, kind of,
Yeah.
get us and then Opie and then, there you go. You finish this.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. No, not moment of silence. For a name to be added later. That's all. Janthony. Opie and Jathany. That's what I'm plugging for, Jathany.
Jathany.
I'm changing my name. Actually, I've already got my lawyers working on it legally.
I heard he already has Casey Anthony filling in.
Oh, he does have. Katie Holmes, even though she received what people say maybe close to $150 million from, giving it to Tom Cruise for a few years, and her daughter, she needs to be naked in magazines to get people to notice her. She's going to be in glamour.
Naked?
Yeah, naked and
Topless.
glamour. Topless.
Nice.
Inexpensive mom jeans.
And this is just a little preview.
Oh, but not naked.
Well, yeah, sort of. She's going to show her boobs and stuff in the magazine. They're doing that now.
Like nipples?
Yeah, they'll show her nipples and all
Pastries?
that. But what's weird is, she's rich. She acts.
What is she doing now, though? Because the only thing I ever see her in the news for is taking her daughter to a bakery
Being
or
a good mother.
something.
She returns to the big screen with a film called The Giver, out August 15th.
Is that why she's topless?
And those of you that know about movies, you know that August 15th is the top date to release a film.
The Ides of August. So they call them the biz.
I think when you release August 15th, it's like, whoopsie.
How old is she now? Is
35.
it a little too late?
No. She's
stunning.
She's very pretty. She's very pretty.
I saw a woman breastfeeding her kid on the subway yesterday.
Yeah.
I could see her nipple.
So what?
You saw
Did she have one of those guards?
No, she had 2 kids in tow, and she was pulling one of those, like, laundry basket kind of things with the wheels.
And
she had
sucked on?
Had a big, sucked on with a big dark nipple sticking around the kid's lips.
Wait, you saw some lady feeding Katie Holmes' kid out of her breast?
No, she was.
Oh, yeah, you misheard me, yeah.
Now, wait. On the subway, 2 children and the baby, or
2 children and the baby.
See, I feel like that's
under
dangerous
6.
because if the other kid decides to dart away, then you got this kid attached to your nipple. Just like, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to catch it?
But 2 children.
Too much going on.
Wait a minute. 2 children and a baby.
And the baby, yeah.
Did she look tired?
Not really. She was standing up the whole time. Like,
wow.
There were seats on the train. She decided to keep standing up and right in front of me with her big nipple hanging out.
Were the kids
Did you
good?
offer your seat?
I was standing up.
Oh.
Did you offer to brace her breast?
Support her?
Yeah, brace her
I did
breast.
not, no.
Right. By the way, I've been sent another thing. We're trying to get the people on. Monet Bell, the woman, is going to marry Doug Henner, and this is one of the biracial couples. Fashion product development manager, lives in New York. He's a sales rep, lives in New Jersey. Her dating history, Christina, 2 long-term relationships.
Yep.
Has trust issues with herself and others. She doesn't trust herself. His dating history, 3 long-term relationships that ended due to distance or lack of a future.
All right, that sounds normal.
Yeah.
I want to know what you mean by she doesn't trust herself. Does that mean that she
Doesn't trust herself.
Yeah, but so she can cheat on him at any time? Is that like it means unfaithfulness?
I don't know. I don't. For a man to
Does she
put
have
his
multiple
penis through those
personalities?
big hoop rings, though, Garrett, you have a big, thick penis to put him through those hoop rings. I would say she doesn't trust her ability to choose a man. You know what I mean? She's a bad. So they're one couple.
So she's deciding to get married at first sight.
Yeah.
Instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Vaughn Copeland, he is a black individual.
You really love this show, by the way.
I do like it. And because I loved Who Wants to Marry a Multimillionaire and wanted that to go on. And Courtney Hendricks is a beautiful blonde individual. She's a makeup artist. They're both from the area. His dating history, 5-year-long relationship, but considers himself OCD.
Oh, I was married to one of them.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Oh boy, that means
No.
that you cannot put your glass down on the coffee table without it being removed if you get up. And dumped in the sink and in the dishwasher.
He says he's bringing
full.
one of his bleached jizz towels into the relationship. He has a bleached jizz towel to wipe it all. He has to have it wiped immediately.
Well, I mean, I appreciate
It doesn't
that.
say that. It doesn't.
Oh, I appreciate that. I
doesn't.
really do. Nobody
I
likes
got
to
you
lay
all.
there with
I got
them
you all
around.
very quiet in here. You're gonna want to watch it on HD if that was gonna be.
It's called the Zamboni, by the way.
Is that what it is? I don't like that.
The rag.
Jay Thomas was killed by a cum rag? Is that what you're telling
Yeah,
me?
about that.
And he wants traditional gender roles in the marriage. Like, oh, you like that? Well, you're the one that cooks. That's not traditional.
I'm not saying I want it for myself, but I could appreciate people that want that.
And now her dating history, she tends to be focused on herself and consistently cheated on by previous boyfriends. She was actually looking in the mirror at herself and noticed another woman in bed with her boyfriend. She looked over her shoulder and said, I am turned on by this. I don't know why. I like the concept, but I'm sure it's going to be phony when I watch it. Yeah. And finally, Jason is an EMT and a firefighter. He tends to date women he knows are not a good match, but stays with them anyway. How do you say stupid shit about yourself? He wants a nice Christian girl who's trustworthy, outgoing, adventurous, and has enough sass to challenge him. Mm-hmm. And he is with Jamie Otis, who we talked about, who's a labor nurse. You know, here's women screaming. And she failed on The Bachelor and Bachelor Pad. And her whole life is filled with unhealthy relationships consisting of jealousy and psychological abuse.
Do they put all of these people into a house together, give them booze, and see if they hook up with each other?
I don't know.
Because if they did, then I'd want to watch the show.
I don't know.
This sounds like a vortex of douchebaggery of the highest level.
It's time now for douchebag baggery tonight on what channel? I don't even know what channel I got.
102.
No, not our channel. You like an idiot. What are they? What? I don't know. What doggone it? What
is there? Douchebag channel?
Wait a second. Wait. What is it? They don't. They're all going to do it. They're all going to do it here. They're all from New York, so it didn't cost the show very much. It's on FYI for your inspiration.
Wow.
Formerly Bio Channel, right? Let's go to Arthur of Texas. Yes, Arthur. Jay Thomas, come on.
Hey, Arthur.
Hey, baby. What's
How you
up?
doing, Arthur?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Speaking of gender roles, when's Kevin going to be back on the show?
So many people complained and sent me emails about him and tweeted that they didn't want him. I got rid of him.
I don't believe it.
Good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance to him. No, he just never came back. And then he got fired from a play or something and sent out a tweet that he was, congratulations to all the people, and it happens, and we've just never heard from him again.
Yesterday he tweeted that his shrink has finally allowed him to start tweeting again.
Well,
and his shrink is also a very little person,
Yeah.
so I'm told.
He goes to a midget shrink?
I believe his name is Peter Dinklage.
He goes to a sunken shrink? A sunken, what do they call it? A head shrinker is what they call it. So he goes to a dwarf head shrinker.
Well, I hope he doesn't.
Shrinky dink.
You know what? I mean it. I show up, and if anybody else shows up, they're allowed to talk. He just stopped showing up.
Well, I hope he doesn't go back to jerking punks off under the Queensboro Bridge at $10 a man.
Well, I hope not.
Good deal.
Here's the problem.
Scary under that bridge.
Here's the problem, and I've said this before. When you live the life that he's lived, and I know this from other entertainment types that I work with, they got a lot of baggage, right? And I know we have to accept everybody and all of that, but it's very difficult because, something seems to have happened, or maybe the world did it. Maybe because he was a closeted gay person that made him unhappy or insane. Perhaps that's it. Perhaps if the world was really, truly inclusive and embraced people, then he wouldn't, have to go to a shrink whether he should tweet or not. But I think he's been very sad and he's not coming around. He's upset. I don't know, right? Wouldn't you think?
That's the feeling I'm getting.
Yeah.
I know he's in Aruba now doing a comedy show.
Oh, but the cruise kind of a thing, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a tough business, and none of us are doing what we think we ought to be doing. Actually, I'm having the greatest week of my life. I'm doing a play, then I'm going to do a couple of episodes of Ray Donovan. The radio show, is going and all that. So I'm having a great week. But, then 2 weeks from now, I'll be miserable, so.
Did you take notes from him since you're playing that new gay character?
I don't need notes, Arthur. I've got your lips to remind me of everything. All right. Thank you, Garrett. I can handle my own put down. All right, Arthur. Goodbye. Speaking of lips, let's go to Jaws. Jaws is on line 1. Yes, Jaws. Go ahead. What sort of bottles are you collecting now? Go ahead.
Oh no, you told me to call me back after the soccer match. Remember you told me to go get.
Oh, that's right. I wanted you to watch soccer and tell me because who's your favorite college football team? UT. Who do you like?
UT. It has to be UT.
You love Tennessee, and so what did you think of soccer? Well, how'd you feel about it?
Well, I didn't even get my cousin owns a beer joint, and I didn't even get the door good. And they were back there. He got a pool table back there, and they were throwing pool balls at each other the hardest as they could throw them. And I got the hell out of there quick as I could.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Where was the soccer game? Was it going on?
I don't know, but they were throwing pool balls at each other. I mean, they were whirling them.
Why? Wait a minute. Why would they hum pool balls at each other? In anger? They were angry?
The beer joint, I guess they was all drunk, yeah. And when I come back through there about an hour later, and I found the cue ball and the 8 ball laying in the parking lot, the most 2 important balls of the pool game. I come back that night, the little pool thing was shut out. I said, well, how come y'all ain't shooting pool? He said, because we can't find the cue ball or the 8 ball. You know what I said? I said, well, I'm a dog.
Wow. Well, you're something. Now, did you put them in your pocket? Where do you have the pool balls?
Yeah, I had overalls on. I put them in my pocket. And the next morning, I felt so bad the next morning, I just put them in a box and put them back out on the thing and wrote UPS on it like the pen wasn't halfway right.
Right. Like they've been delivered.
UPS or something. So they got the balls back.
If you put those in a sock, they may make a great weapon.
But that's what I told Christine. Sometimes you ought to have me to come to New York with my bottles, and it could be the J. Jaws and Shawnee show.
Well, you know what? I mean, we don't pay for anybody to come. If you come to New York, we'll let you in the studio. All right?
If I come to New York, I'd have to get some kind of studio.
Well, no, we'll let you in the studio if you come to New York, okay?
Please let me know if he comes.
Yeah.
Hey, I was listening to you a while ago. My wife broke in and I called and talked to her and told her I was waiting. That Jay Thomas wanted to get a full report from me. You know what she done?
What?
She laughed in my face on the phone. I mean, that made me so damn mad when she laughed in my face.
Now, what was she laughing at?
At me, she didn't think I was really talking to you.
No, well, you know what? Call back with the wife, and I'll tell her. That's all.
I'm too mad at her right now.
You're mad at her? You're mad? Are you gonna withhold sex from her?
I told myself, that's another thing that was funny. When you talk about that Slim guy, what was that game, Slim game?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my wife's been over in the dryer getting the clothes out, and I stabbed her in the ass with a Slim Jim.
Wow.
Yeah, she got a shield again, Jaws.
By the way, only if you're from the Ozarks or from Kentucky can you really understand what Jaws is saying.
Slim Jim.
Yeah, the Slim Jim's a funny one. You ever attach an electrical cord to a Slim Jim and give her a good little vibrating down there, a good Slim Jim vibrator? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I'd have to do it. I go to the dollar store and give me some of them heavy-duty batteries.
Because the dollar store gets heavy-duty batteries. I can understand every word he's saying. All right, Jaws. Now you go ahead.
Is Jaws like an ironic name where he has no teeth? I could see him having no teeth.
Why is your name Jaws again?
Yeah, my daddy named that when I was a little bitty because I was real fat and I had a little round face and chubby jaws, and he'd grab my jaws and he called me Jaws.
Wow.
Oh, Jowls.
And my brother-in-law was from New York, up over from west, upstate New York.
Yeah.
And he would call me Jowls. He couldn't say Jaws, he'd say Jowls.
So your name is Jaws or Jowls?
That's what my brother-in-law called me because he was from New York.
I gotcha. But your name is Jaws.
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, like the shark.
Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. I'm the only one in town that's got that name. Everybody knows me as Jaws.
You're the only one in town that has that name.
Only one in town.
You know what's funny? I'm surprised. Yeah. And what town are we talking about? What town is it?
Springfield. You probably know where it's at, Springfield, Tennessee.
Did you know that
It's about
every
30
state in the
miles
union,
north of Nashville.
every state in the union, I think, except for Hawaii and Alaska, have a Springfield? Did you know that?
Yeah, it's north of Nashville. JT knows where it's at. He's been the beer joint I talk about. You know what the name of it is?
What?
Piggy Pit.
The Piggy Pit. That's where you hang
yeah.
out. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Joss. When you go home at night and you unzip your pants and get your wife going, does the song start playing like do 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 do?
No, it's more like a popsicle song.
It's like the circus over there.
God damn. God damn, you're funny. All right. Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much.
The Piggy Pit.
Damn.
Just so
he's quick.
No one misses Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
The FYI channel was the biography channel.
Yeah, I said that. It was bio.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
sorry.
the bio channel.
Because I'd never heard of it.
Nobody will miss
I
it.
never heard of FYI.
It's FYI is it used to be for your information. It was FYI. Now it's for your inspiration. I heard that this morning in a
And
meeting.
Oprah's got nothing to do with that.
No.
Oh, she's.
Let's go to Anthony of Queens. Yes, Anthony, go ahead.
Jay, I just heard your announcement that you're going to 102 like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, no, 10
a
in a
week
week
from today.
7 days, yeah.
I don't have 102 on my satellite radio in my car.
Well, it's a conspiracy of some sort, Garrett. We don't have. I don't think 102 is a channel right now.
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Everybody has Sirius 102.
But he just said he didn't. All right, you fucking idiot. He just said he didn't. So now I'm trying to deal with it.
I'm going to check later.
Do we have an Indian person in the building that can get on the phone and talk to him in a language that he doesn't understand and not fucking help him at all? Do we have anything like that
Sean is
available?
American Indian.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I'm going to check my
Anthony,
radio later.
we'll put you on hold. We're trying to find an Indian employee and pretend you're calling Sirius, whatever the fuck it is. All right, thank you very much. Hello. By the way, for those of you following the Holy War, if you're following the Holy War overseas, they found out that the head of the new Muslim, that ISIS or what is it? What's the president call it?
ISIL.
ISIL. He was giving a speech while wearing a $8,000 Rolex.
That's not that expensive, right, for Rolexes?
He's a caliph. He's a man of the people. He's a poor person, supposedly, or whatever. Oh. Either that or he bought it from one of these scumbag, guys on the street, that sell the phony Rolexes.
Yeah. Before I came in here, I saw the greatest thing. There was two of the guys at the falafel stand.
Yeah.
Fighting almost they almost punch each other out until the cops came. It was awesome.
You know what?
It's fantastic.
One's a Sunni. No, because one's a Sunni and one's a Shiite. I'm not joking. They hate each other. They absolutely.
It wasn't two vendors, right? It was just two guys.
Two
of the street meat guys? Oh, yeah?
Of that stand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
that's
fight. One guy
right
quit.
outside this building?
Yes.
One guy quit. Like right in the spot.
Those are my guys.
Pulled off his stuff, threw.
That's your guys, yeah.
Threw his vest on the
Two
ground.
of my favorite duos break up in the same week. I'm not going to be able to handle it. I can't go to this show tonight.
Well, you know what's funny? We're hoping that when we come back, it'll be Opie and Halal. That's what we're hoping. And that'll make Garrett. Can you imagine listening to your favorite show and they make you some sort of a cat-filled pita that you can enjoy? What do you eat down there? What do
Chicken and rice.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, with the whitened sauce and homemade hot sauce.
But you know what I don't like? It's never the good meat. It's the black meat. It's dark meat. It's oily.
Never the breast.
Yeah, I'd pay extra for the breast. Now, do you believe that's a real lamb that they put in there, or is that a goat? It's a goat, isn't it?
No, I'm sure it's goat tastes totally different than lamb.
It does. It's very greasy.
Yeah.
Garrett, the only rice that you should have that isn't fattening is brown rice.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Rachel Rayberg right now. Rachel Raysteen.
Well, if you're going to eat white rice,
yes,
you're going to get heavy.
I eat yellow rice.
That's no good. Yellow rice is no good either, Garrett.
Wow.
Garrett sent me an interesting article basically concerning everyone that's had to apologize or any problems, and about Gilbert too, who I did his podcast last night and stuff. And we live in this what do they call it? The apology
epidemic.
Epidemic, where you have to do it. Delta Airlines has apologized for a tweet that showed the U.S. Ghana World Cup score over images of the Statue of Liberty and a giraffe. And Ghana complained. Do you know why?
There's no giraffes in Ghana.
There's no giraffes in Ghana. You know? I mean, what sort of African country is it when you don't have a giraffe?
Did they eat them all?
They probably ate every single
Yes.
one of them. You know, it would be like showing, Qatar, and you show a camel, and that you find out they don't have a camel. You know,
like the Yankees win the World Series and you throw up a picture of a crocodile.
Well, that would be upsetting. that would be, or how about this? You show a picture of a homeless guy. It's just a homeless guy laying on the fucking street. Tonight, the theater will report tomorrow on Howard 101, and we'll be back on this 104 channel until next week when we're 102. Goodbye.
iRegisterSean.com.